menu screen.
Menu screen.
Screen for souls.
TV is saying 6:03, but the laptop says 6 o'clock. How can they have different interpretations of the time?
You know, time is gay. That's my answer.
These are facts.
While we're waiting for people to come in, I gotta say, dude, struggling with this setup for the last couple hours. The game center, the command center of Power Rangers fame that we've recreated for this setup for I Am Games. It's a shit show, dude.
Yeah.
It's a good thing we never turned the camera the other way. People could see what I'm looking at right now.
There's a lot of it's just kind of a chord jungle.
Just think of those tentacle rape hentais you watch. That's the cables on the floor right now. And the consoles are the girls.
That's pretty true.
It's insanity. And I don't know if you know, one of my biggest pet peeves in the world is excessive cabling. So every time I look at that, I kind of
you
die.
and every tech guy on
It's the
planet
worst. Earth. It's the worst shit. And I can't have it, dude. I look at it and I want to die. We need a system. Well, last thing we need is another system up here, but you know what I mean. We need a system, a meta system.
The problem is that it's so hard to keep up with. What was that sound for?
That was a cheer, I believe.
Hey.
+1 for my cable hatred. That's what I'm gonna assume that was for.
I'm just in the middle of making a tweet right now.
I should retweet your tweet.
I just made it. Oh shit, I forgot to actually link the stream.
You fucking I mean, it's a nice picture of Raziel, so I don't blame you entirely.
I'm gonna
look at him. Gorgeous. Gorgeous character design. Too bad it doesn't look that good in the actual game.
Well,
he looks downright goofy in the PlayStation version. His head is literally a square. And yeah. The Dreamcast version, which we're playing, we're going to play the Dreamcast port of Soul Reaver 1. They actually updated the mod a little bit. It was a little bit smoother.
Does Digi still have his dreaded Google Pixel? Yes, unfortunately. The phone that is always dead every time I pick it up.
He could have a Galaxy S9, but he's being a fucking Jew about it.
I don't have money. I don't have the money to buy a new phone. You know I had to spend a fucking grand on heating oil.
Look, could have kept warm by the warm glow of an OLED screen, but you didn't.
I mean, it'll certainly help if people continue making gigantic bit contributions.
Toya, have a couple drinks.
I think Toya's only around on the weekends when he can get shit faced.
What? I'm just gonna. If you
say
his name
about the late night.
If you say his name 3 times into the camera, he does appear.
Oh boy!
All right.
Metroid Prime menu.
No, not at all.
No.
How is this the Metroid Prime menu?
I don't know what the guy was. I had to restart the chat, so probably he was responding.
It was in context or something else. I'm gonna be like, man, I don't know what game you played, but I kind of want to play the version of Metroid Prime you got. That sounds pretty cool.
Speaking of buying from Tom, did you finally cave into a psychological warfare to buy his laptop? Not yet.
No, he's got maybe a week before I just list it because I'm getting all my shit ready to sell. So that's
you wanted $400 for this, right?
I did.
Money, it's a crime.
I agree. Money is a crime. We should all be socialists. It's just never been tried, you know?
All right.
Okay. Are we good? Are we good to start, or should I make more?
Yeah. Welcome. You're watching I Am Games, the most on-brand stream on Twitch.tv. You should prove that. Prove the brand.
Boom.
Hell yeah. That was a great fucking tear open right there. That looked awesome on stream. That was some Dante shit you just pulled off.
Trust me, that's all I've ever wanted to be in my life. Did you know that?
Think of a Dante one-liner.
Devil May Cry
Can't actually
5.
think of one.
They have in Japan an $8,500 special edition that comes with a replica of Dante's coat, and I am tempted.
Man, I'm impressed you even set this up like with the 4x3 like over to the side, and we're like in the fucking right column. Like it looks fucking.
When you have more than 30 seconds to throw it together, you can kind of
you
get
put
it
a
all
little more
set up.
thought into it.
Yeah. So we're playing Soul Reaver for the Dreamcast today. It was a fucking. If you guys are in the Discord, which you should be, you would know that there was a struggle. There was a battle.
Yeah, you should hit start a new game, and you can talk about this while.
But we gotta watch this awesome cutscene.
This cutscene is baller. First of all, the art design here, great.
Oh, God, the voice acting in this game is really good.
I can't hear the voice well enough to actually understand what they're saying.
Unfortunately, no.
The music is overpowering the voice from this shit TV. Alright, I can hear him now.
Is this the first cutscene you've actually paid attention to on IM Games?
Well, you know, Soul Reaver is like mostly known for the story, so I feel like we owe it to ourselves.
We do. I would want to watch this because I've watched this cutscene like 18 times in the last 15 hours trying to get this shit working.
Well, feel free. I mean, I've already seen it before. I fully intend that
it is still good.
If we do, in fact, make a big video about the Soul Reaver series, I fully intend to watch the full movie version on YouTube, which does exist. There's like a what, probably 6 hours just like of all the cutscenes in all the games.
I'd watch that.
This motherfucker is just gonna fucking.
Can you check the stream? Make sure all the audio and stuff's working.
I will call you out from shelter. Burn your wings. You'll know no better. Wow, that's a very minor stream delay. I can't hear the game, but like I can't hear it over itself.
Hopefully the stream will let us know if there's audio problems.
How do I get a Tom and Digi signed shirt?
You asked.
Hit up Tom on Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh, Jalen Harris gave us $4. Said, "Here you go, Digi. Stop using that shitty phone." Oh wait, is that 4? Wait, what is 4,000? Is that 4 or 40?
4,000?
Yeah, 4,000.
40.
That's $40. Thank you, Jalen Harris.
Jesus Christ.
That's not enough to buy a new phone, but maybe I'll put it towards this laptop.
Do something.
I mean, it's $20 for me. So, what? How much do I have to pay you for your phone?
Probably another 400.
I just want to buy like a flip phone. I just want to go back. Like, I literally don't use my phone.
You can.
It's just always
You can
dead.
still use a flip phone.
It's
Get
fucking...
Get the new Nokia 3310.
It I don't know. It's like a chicken and the egg thing. It's like, is it that I'm not using my phone because it's dead all the time?
Look at this shot. This shot makes me come every time.
Oh yeah, where he flips the fucking scarf around.
Yeah. Dude, this Raziel's up there.
Ohio gozaimasu.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Someone asked, what type of phone does Mark have?
Galaxy S8 Plus.
Tom can tell by sight.
I can. It's disgusting.
Was Mark happy?
Did I ever tell you my story about how everyone in college, all the women in college thought I was a creep because I was looking at them, but actually seeing what their phones were because I was really interested?
Oh, this looks fantastic.
Dude, it's so much better than the PlayStation version.
Yeah, this looks really good. I like... But, Digi, is your Denzel Curry video dead? Yeah. Straight up. That died a long time ago. I mean, I've already given, like, basically all the speech of what is cool about Denzel Curry on various... I think there was a big
Bits.
I keep hearing him. I think that was just a one. It was just a one bit.
Dude, we gotta change the bit thing to Steven saying, "Give me the bits."
I don't know the quote.
Steven Universe, when he gets the fry bits, he's always like, "Give me the bits." We gotta change it to that.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Somebody else surely already has that though.
Yeah, but who cares?
Yeah.
We'll add like a reverb or something to make it really obnoxious.
Is Tom selling his body and everything else he owns?
Who would want my body? Let's be real. I can't even give it away right now.
Digi, thanks to that new type video, I am now using my new type powers to basically get pussy. Thanks, bro. Holy shit! I'm helping somebody get pussy? I'm Dick Masterson now, officially. I love it.
Maybe I need to watch this video, after all.
I'm the number 2 Spurg Whisperer.
Hey, they said the title of the game already. Alright, we're in it. We're playing the game. We're playing a fucking game.
Right, I was talking about the stupid phone that like the fucking like I don't use it, and because I don't use it, I don't think to keep it, you know, on the charger all the time. And therefore every time I actually pick it up, it is just dead. And like on a Samsung phone, usually the battery only like diminishes significantly when the screen is on. Like I can fully charge the Google phone, not use it for a day and a half, and then the first time I open it, it's at 15%, and the next time I try to, it's dead.
It's because it's a Google phone, so Google's constantly phoning home and like all this gay shit.
It's ridiculous.
So you know what the good thing about playing this game on emulator was? Initially, the camera was set to the triggers, but I just mapped the triggers to the left and right on the analog sticks. Now I have
clever girl.
The good way of getting the camera shot.
I really like using camera trigger controls. Like I'm generally a fan of using the triggers for camera because you can just kind of steer yourself.
Well, the camera doesn't move you in the direction in this game, and also you have to use the bumpers to lock on and stuff. So like holding down the triggers.
That would be a pain in the ass.
We're gonna get some graphical glitches because this is an emulator, so you can see little blocks on those sprites.
Oh, that wouldn't be there. I see.
Yeah.
Did you finally watch Dead Leaves? It's like Imaishi memeing on himself. I don't know what you mean by that, but I did watch Dead Leaves and it was fucking awesome. It's one of my favorites. Dead Leaves Platinum Games the anime? I could kind of see that.
Now I'm interested. I have no idea what it is, but I'm interested now. Platinum Games is sick.
I can't tell if this is a meme that every time Jalen Harris does a cheer or says anything, he'll always like say, "Wow, just fuck my message," like when I don't respond to it immediately, even though everyone knows that I'm like an hour back in the chat at all times.
Sounds like a meme to me.
Yeah, I mean the fact that he's done it so many times makes me think that it must be an intentional joke, but he was like, I just gave him over $40 just to get ignored, SMH. And it's like, well,
I mean, we did acknowledge
it. Wasn't there yet.
We did acknowledge it.
Yeah. Well, I acknowledged it like a good 5 minutes after it happened, I think. Start a karaoke channel for Twitch subs and Patreons. I don't know if that would be worth my time.
Depends on how much money you give us. It's all about the cash, dude. Yeah.
There's big audio problems. The game audio doesn't work. We just hear speakers very shittily like a rattling tin can.
Great. It's another day, more audio problems.
What that means to me is I just now made it far enough in the chat to hear people even have heard the game audio.
Well, shit. I didn't realize you were so far back.
There's no actual complaints about it other than that guy who was responding to you asking about the audio.
Well,
but it seems like that they just kind of vaguely hear the audio coming out of the TV from a distance.
That is weird. I don't know why it's not in the
stream itself.
Yeah.
We are playing on the laptop again, which tends to have weird issues. Why couldn't this be done on the streaming PC?
The streaming PC cannot handle running an emulator.
Oh.
And I don't know why.
I thought you'd put like a whole new thing in there.
I did, and I guess that wasn't enough.
By the way,
it ran the emulator fine. Then I started running Slobs, which is a dog, on top of it. And it's like, no.
On Ohio Gozaimark's new computer that was built, every like couple of hours, the video driver just suddenly restarts. Like it just fails and then comes back on. And it's like, it wouldn't even be annoying at all if not for the fact that Mark is currently addicted to a pornographic browser game that's basically just Honey Pop, but free to, like, freemium. And much better character designs, IMO, than Honey Pop. So, better game. Yeah, they're making Honey Pop 2, and now it's got like a trans kid and like a fucking, what was the other weird... What was it?
Hijab.
Oh yeah, the girl with the hijab and stuff.
Oh god, it's like social justice-y.
Yeah.
Gotta have that inclusion.
It's odd. I mean, I guess, like...
Is it weird that, like, oh, we're gonna have this inclusion of all these people you can fuck, so you can dominate all the minorities?
Yeah.
It's a little, questionable.
I think in their case, it's more of just wanting to represent every group, not so much for... inclusion's sake, but just so you have all the options,
right?
You know, because like even the original
your
Honey
dick
Pop,
is spoiled for choice.
Like Honey Pop always had like girls of like every conceivable ethnicity, whereas like an actual visual novel is just going to be a bunch of Japanese girls, you know. God damn it! I'm reinstalling Soul Reaver. This jump animation makes my cock diamonds.
It does have a nice little anticipation on it.
I don't know if I would say it makes my cock diamonds, but I do love the glide.
You guys excited for election day tonight?
I'm excited.
You're excited to see the country go red?
I really want it to. Unironically, I want it to happen. You know, I've been so tempted all day to just make a tweet like, I didn't vote, fuck all of you, and if I did, you'd be pissed because I would have voted Republican across the board.
I legitimately considered making a tweet that says, like, fuck voting and fuck you if you vote, but
everybody
I was like, what will this do for me? This will do nothing for me.
We should just both retweet Jesse's video.
Yeah.
I'm every single time a vote happens, I'm tempted to, but I know nobody's gonna watch a 40-minute video.
Yeah, I did though. It was worth it. This game is so
You're
cool.
getting the leaders you deserve. Pathetic, unholy, cowardly, fucking, and ugly, 'cause that's what you are.
Yeah, grapple. Throw him in the sun. Burn, vampire, bitch.
Digi, only $100. Galaxy S5, best phone ever. You can just switch out batteries, never need a cable to charge.
It is true.
It's on that sounds like more of a pain in the ass. Switching out batteries?
Well, it means you can buy...
What kind of batteries does it take?
It just takes like a proprietary cell.
Oh, so you just mean that you can switch between two and then put the battery back on a charger?
Exactly.
I'm never gonna remember to do that shit.
That's true.
I don't mind the cable charging. Like, I have no problem with that. It's just, like...
you just forget to do that, too.
Well, okay. Really, the issue is that at some point, Mark lost his charger, I guess, and so we're both using the same charger.
Okay, well, I have a USB-C cable. You could have said, hey, Tom, you got a USB-C cable? And I'm like,
I didn't know that. Yeah, like, I mean, I even have... I do have the one that's like both sides are USB 3, and I think that somewhere is a charger, like a wall charger specifically for that one. I'm not sure where, but like, in any case, like, I just usually, like, I have the phone just with my stuff. Like, I don't think to go take it to where the charger is. I just have it with my wallet and my keys as like a set that is ready to go with me out the door.
You need a portable battery pack is what you need, dude.
Oh, carrying around a fucking battery pack everywhere I go?
Yeah.
Like, because I keep everything in my pockets, like front pockets.
I have a tiny little battery pack that's like not big.
I've got one of those, the little stick ones.
Use it. Sounds like you're just creating the problem and refusing to address it.
I just want to have a phone that doesn't die when it's not on.
If only someone in the vicinity had one on offer.
Yeah, but it's like a lot of money for it, and I can't afford to spend that money.
It's really good.
I think Matthew Matosis mentioned this game in some video. Yeah, it was in his latest, his mega mini videos or whatever. He does a breakdown of Raziel's character design.
He's great. Up there. He's up there with Hatsuma as like my favorite character designs.
Yeah, you should watch that video.
The fucking patterns on the scarf that are like tears coming down. Man, so cool, so edgy, so early.
Yeah, 2000s. I didn't know about that until he brings it up in his little write-up.
He's definitely got some Evanescence AMVs. Raziel.
That's what I was trying to like when he was about to tear off the wings. I was trying to think like what song is the perfect thing to sing at this moment, and I ended up going for a Coheed song about burning your wings. But I knew there was something better, and it was Evanescence, of course. Can't wake up. Nobody gonna fill me in?
Wake me up inside.
Say wake up.
Wake me up and
save me.
Call my name and save me from
I love that twang you put on it. Call my name.
Yeah. See, the cool thing of this game is that if you you can like grab these guys and impale them, but if you pick up the weapon before you drain their soul, they come back to life. It's fucking sick.
Dying Jack says, Digi, don't read literally every comment and just stay at the front like a regular fucking streamer. If I had, you wouldn't have gotten this sentence read. And also, apparently this is what everyone likes about these streams, is that I do actually read the whole chat. I don't know why you wouldn't want that. I don't know why anyone wouldn't want that. When I stay at the front, we just run out of shit to talk about. Like, we stay at the front, and then people aren't commenting fast enough.
Though I suppose if we did run out of comments to read, we could talk about the fucking game.
That's true. But, I mean, like, how often is something new happening in the game?
Dude, look, I got this pointy thing.
That's pretty sick. You can throw it at people, right?
Yeah. But this is the best part. You smack them with it, right?
Yeah.
And then they're stunned, and then you're like, yeah, get fucked.
Yeah, this was like...
But here's the cool thing. They're vampires, so if you don't drain their soul and you pick the thing back up again, they come back to life and you gotta kill them again.
Shit! I didn't even know that.
Yeah. It's cool.
That was like one of the things about this game that would have been like revolutionary for the time kind of thing, right? Like the idea that you could just like pick up anything and like pin people to walls, like...
I feel like, yeah, that'd probably be a new thing.
Shit. Like, I remember, like, fucking almost a decade later, like, Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks, like, bragging about doing the same thing. And it was like, this already was a thing way back. Fucking Soul Reaver invented that shit. Procedurally generated audio problems. Very games. No thank you says, you guys are literally retarded for not doing a video on Red Dead 2. We both hated the first game so much, though.
Yeah. And the second one seems even worse. All I know is that a bunch... Dude, okay. You know about the NPC meme? Have you heard anything about Red Dead 2 at all? Have you, like, have your finger on the pulse on that?
No.
So, do you know what the NPC meme is?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So the NPCs are complaining about Red Dead 2 that the NPCs in Red Dead 2 aren't real people. This is a big social justice complaint right now.
I don't understand.
Yeah, the complaints are that the character... Everything is so realistic in Red Dead Redemption 2, but the people are just... They only do, like, 3 or 4 scripted things, and it's dumb.
No, what, like... So it's like every video game? Like,
right.
What the fuck are they complaining about?
Yeah. They're like, the people in this game just exist for your pleasure and nothing else.
Who is making... What is fucking happening? What are you fucking talking about? This can't be real.
It is.
Who?
And gaming journalists.
What? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, just all of a sudden we're like just bringing this up. Like, oh, I can't help but notice in Red Dead 2 it's the same as every video game ever made. Because of obvious technical limitations and time limitations.
Don't you know that every character in a video game, every NPC should be living an entire life?
Oh my god, I can't even. No thank you says, yes, but the Deltarune video had 0 content, which wouldn't matter in most games, but the Undertale fandom is all into depth, so you played yourselves. I don't know what he was responding to, but I mean...
Probably the fact that the Delta Room video bombed.
I wouldn't say it bombed.
It bombed.
It didn't get an incredible view count, but it didn't get no views.
It got our normal amount of views. We did not get
It didn't do the runaway like meme success that we were crossing our fingers for.
Yeah.
But did it deserve that? No.
Well,
also the actual video of us playing the game did better than any of the other live stream recordings.
I suppose it's probably because people want to watch people playing that game.
So the video itself has 3.5k views. And the playthrough has 1,000 views, which is the most we've had on any of the videos.
I mean, yeah, it's topical. I get it.
Yeah, wouldn't have done that much for us even if it had gotten big because we fucking don't have monetization yet.
God damn it!
Oh, we are Twitch partners now, though.
Oh, shit.
Well, we're not yet, but we have been approved to do it. I forgot to go and
so we can like sell. We can sell games or something.
I don't know what. I have not read anything. All I got was the confirmation.
Yeah, there's some weird shit going on with fucking Twitch partner. We don't know what kind of powers we have now.
Pools no meme answer. What would your superpower be if A, you get to choose it yourself, B, it was based off your personality? Gender swapping.
Being a machine and being immortal. Because I'm a machine.
Yeah. Same answers we always give. PCP the game podcast when? What does that mean? Did Mark vote at least? No. Mark doesn't care because we live in a... We just moved here, and we're also planning to move out of the district anyways, so, like, what politicians we have here in particular is pretty irrelevant to either of us. I assume that would be... Is that a satisfying representation of why you didn't vote?
Also, I didn't register in time because he moved to a different state.
Right.
Because it's a pain in the ass.
This
really a PS2 game? No, this is a fucking Dreamcast game.
Okay, here's the interesting. This is a Dreamcast game, but it's a port of a PS1 game, so everything but the main character model is PS1 geometry.
Yeah, and people were talking about how impressive the animations are. It's like this is even fucking.
It looks just as good on PS1, even. I mean, the textures don't, but the animations are all the same. It's the same. Look, Soul Reaver's fucking sick.
Did you just turn on battery saver and close apps you aren't using? Jesus, why do you assume I don't do it in anything? Like, why is the assumption always immediately that I'm retarded and not that the thing that I'm saying is happening?
Because you are retarded when it comes to technology.
Like, name a thing.
You tried to plug in this monitor to the motherboard inputs, even though we have a graphics card installed. It's like 101, dude.
I mean... They're both HDMI inputs.
Yeah, but if you got a graphics card, it's using the graphics card.
That constitutes being retarded about technology? Yeah, I would think that's pretty obscure knowledge.
I would say that's about as unobscure as diving into your phone settings and tweaking all the advanced menus in Android's system preferences to get better battery life. Also, the soundtrack of this game is fucking amazing.
Did you, Jalen said about $2 and said, did you sing the Hawthorne Heights song for old time's sake? Okay.
Hey there, I know it's hard to feel
like I don't care at all. Speed it down, no, slow things down or speed it up. Not enough or way too much.
On and on and on and on and on.
'Cause I can't make it on my own.
I can't make it on my own.
'Cause my heart is in Ohio.
Oh damn!
So cut my wrists and black my eyes.
Cut my breasts and black my eyes.
I can't fall asleep tonight.
Man,
or die.
That song is legit cool. Unironically.
I do not like Digi being behind at the chat. Just chill if there's no one saying anything. Why? Why would you rather listen to us do literally say nothing than answer the chat? I don't understand that mindset at all.
I mean, yeah.
I get bored if we're not talking on the show. Like, if we stop talking, I like zone out and I forget I'm doing a live stream. I just start like checking the internet. Like, I gotta be doing something or else it's not a fucking show.
The one thing I don't like about this game's visual presentation is the blood effects, because they're particles and not sprites, and I think particle effects, especially early particle effects, just look like shit. Like, it doesn't look like blood, it just looks like little circles popping out.
I am an SJW and I never hear about the NPC meme. Well, they're not the ones perpetuating the NPC meme.
No.
The meme is about them.
Yeah, if you're a social justice warrior, you are an NPC. That's the meme.
Yeah. Keep going on and on and on and on.
Guess in your head, doesn't it?
I mean, it's been in my head for 15 fucking years now.
Alright, well, yeah, it doesn't really ever leave.
Yes, Red Dead 2 is bad. The photorealistic graphics do not serve the gameplay, and normies love it. Digi, you made your name shitting on things normies like. You're just throwing money in the fire here. I mean, do other people hate it? Like, when it comes to gaming, like, I don't know. I don't have my fingers on the pulse of what people want you to say about video games. Like, when fucking BioShock Infinite came out, I complained about it, and I got shit on for complaining about it. And the only person who was able to do it was Matthew Matosis, because he put a lot of care and effort into it. And even he still, you know, like, it was still an unpopular opinion. But, Jesse said, I played Deltarune for 5 minutes and hated it so much I retroactively realized I hated Undertale too. I thought you had already hated, like, I didn't think that you liked Undertale in the first place.
I wonder, what about it did you not like?
Probably that it's lame. And then you had to read.
Oh, well, yeah. That is the thing you have to do in the game.
Jester Monocle says, probably of me saying something about being retarded, because you are and you've admitted to being autistic, what the fuck? I've never, like... I don't know what you mean by admitted to being autistic. I'm not like diagnosed with autism. It's mostly a big meme. I do want to buy Dick Masterson's "Fuck Off, I'm Autistic" shirt. Have you seen this?
I've not, but it sounds amazing.
It's awesome. He's got a shirt that just says "Fuck Off, I'm Autistic" on it. I want it really bad, but I don't know if I'd have the balls to actually wear it.
I think you'd find it in you. I don't know where I could have put this.
You didn't know what the fucking Windows key does? Who uses the Windows key?
Lots of people. It's a shortcut that you use for a lot of advanced commands in Windows.
I mean, well, in this...
Yeah, it brings
on this laptop, it just brings up the start menu, which is what I expect it to do. Right. But, like, the reason I said... Like, what he's referring to is that I had pressed the Windows key and it made the top bar come down. And that was happening to me. Like... It was making like the file edit, like, you know, bar, like a task bar, like for the individual browser come down. That was happening on whatever I was using, and that's why I was like, why the fuck is the Windows key making that happen? And that's why I was asking you about it, because it's not normal for that to happen.
I wish I had seen the specific context.
So I'm not exactly sure what it's not that I don't know what the Windows key does; it's that it was doing something weird.
Can't hear what he's saying.
Dine Jack says, I assume you didn't have Power Saver on because you said in the past that Samsung phones keep charge better at low percentages, even though they basically just automatically turn on Power Saver when that happens. It's just that the Power Saver is so much vastly superior. I can have a Samsung phone off the charger for a fucking week. Like, it's not going to die if the screen is not on. And even if if the phone gets down to 2%, it won't just die unless you press the screen on button, and then it might say like phone is shutting down. The Google phone, in a day I can pick it up and it will just be dead. Like, it won't, the screen will not come on. It is a piece of shit phone. And I'm basing this on having owned Samsung phones for years. Like for like a good 6 years, I had various. I had the Note 3, the Note 7 briefly, and the S7 Edge before I switched to Google. Big mistake. I let them meme me. Anybody know any cool ways to customize a Switch? No.
I know that obviously the easiest way is to get different Joy-Cons. There was something floating around the internet for a while. There was like a treatment you could do to get them like atomic purple, like the Game Boy Color back in the day. Have atomic purple Joy-Cons, which I kind of want.
Honestly, go ask around in the I Am Games Discord. Like, there's a lot of really knowledgeable people in there about shit.
It's impressive. There are people.
I've just been going in there. Like, if I need a fucking if I need to find anything, I've just been going into I Am Games. Like,
you know that the I Am Games Discord has broken 300 members.
Amazing.
It's doing good. We have our tiny little autist army.
Okay, just said, I hated Undertale, but then I realized I was wrong and it was actually great. But now I realize, fuck it, I guess I hate it again because Deltarune is boring. I feel you, dude.
Yeah, Digi had the same reaction. He didn't like the school section in the beginning.
Digi probably has ADHD, not autism. I mean...
They're not mutually exclusive.
They're the same fucking thing. It's all a spectrum. We're literally all on it.
We're all on the human
If you
spectrum.
follow me anywhere, you are autistic. I'm sorry. There's no other reason. Literally none. And I will not take any answer other than that from any of you. As far as I'm concerned, if you follow me, I just want you to know, I think of you as autistic if you follow me. And I don't consider it an insult at all.
I mean, it just means you're a new type.
Yes. That's the kind way of putting it.
That's the politically correct way of saying you're autistic. They're not autistic, they're new types.
You know what? This guy's right. It was just the Alt key and not the Windows key. That's why I was confused about why the fucking button did the wrong thing.
Well, we've learned something today.
It doesn't do that on the keyboard on my computer.
Weird.
Yeah. I mean, I'm used to using the Alt key mostly to enter in fucking numerical commands. Because for a while, I was really okay, I am super obsessed with the M dash. You know what an M dash is, right? You took typography.
Mm-hmm.
There is no button for M dash, but if you press like Alt 0151, I think, or 150.
Yeah, Windows like fucking Unicode.
Yeah, and I used to do that. Well, I first learned Unicode stuff from like back in my forum days, so I could make the little swords in my username. And then I got way into M dashes, and like legit, if you read text versions of my videos, like there's M dashes everywhere. You've probably noticed because you've had to read a few of my scripts that like every fucking paragraph has at least one M dash in it, and like because I write that way, I had just like gotten used to like really quickly Alt 0150, you know. The boxes on the particle effects is really unfortunate.
Yeah, they're some of them are worse than others. That one was pretty bad.
Why did I switch away from Samsung? Literally because it was cheaper, and the guy memed me at the store.
Yeah, he sounds like you. Well, this camera.
The dude was like, "Dude, the fucking Pixel, dude. You gotta get the Pixel." And like, it was that or the S8 that was new at the time, and the S8 was like $950, and the Pixel was like $500, and I was like, well, I don't use this for that much, so I'll just get the Pixel because like MKBHD seemed to like it.
Yeah, he's
but
a big
like
little dude.
The things that I need from a phone are not things that he would need from a phone, you know, like the things I care about the most are battery life and inward facing camera quality, and like neither of those, like he doesn't even consider the inward facing camera on a smartphone, you know.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Unfortunate.
Tom, did you get the Dreamcast to work? No.
No, we are playing on a emulator right now. That's why the sprites are all fucked up. But I do have the second analog stick on my 360 controller with the camera, so that's kind of nice. You know, give and take. Give and take.
This guy says, I know autism ADHD is a spectrum digi, but ADHD is more descriptive for you. Maybe. My dad has ADHD, like, faux show. Like, he can't... If you are having a conversation with my dad, and at some point you start talking for a little too long, he'll forget he's having a conversation with you and start checking his phone. Like, he can't pay attention to anything for more than, like, 15 minutes tops. Did you ever play the PS4 Berserk game? I have not. Is it good? I haven't heard anything about its quality.
Didn't know there was a Berserk PS4.
And yeah, new types are real. Gundam was just an autistic ADHD brain blast that got super popular because of cool robots. I mean, it got popular because of new types. Like, it's really interesting. If you read the manga, I don't remember what it's called, but there's a manga about the creation of Gundam. It's like 2 volumes. It's mostly done in like a comedic, semi-parodical way where it's like everything's way over the top. But it tells the story of like the creation of and like the whole original run of Gundam, and it like very much presents it as like,
oh god, it's fucking destroyed.
That like the reason it got popular is that it was a calling card to this type of person. Like the people who were fans of the show were supposed to be the new types, and like. That like upon their recognition of this, there's like this grown solidarity, and that this is kind of the birth of like the otaku movement, is like the conception of new types. Hence why one of the biggest anime magazines is New Type Magazine. So yeah. All the lonely people. Alt plus 132 and Alt plus 147 are also important because Google Docs doesn't have the right quotation marks. Yeah, I guess if you're into that, if you care about your quotation marks.
Quotation markers.
I mean, I stopped using the Unicode shit because if you just do 2 dashes in a row, a lot of programs will just turn that into an M dash, helpfully. But I'm starting to think everyone in my family has ADHD, so maybe it's genetic. It's totally genetic. I know a lot of people with autism that has been diagnosed, and most of the people in their families or around them are obviously also autistic undiagnosed. But like the thing is that diagnosing it oftentimes is like okay, for some people it's like way more evident and like it's going to be a big impact no matter what. But like diagnosing it can really fuck somebody's life because they become autism. Like they that's all they perceive themselves as. And, like, they don't learn how to fit into society because they just assume they can't because they already know they have this thing. Whereas there's fucking millions of people out there who are far less functional than some of those people who've been diagnosed, but are just living their lives because nobody told them that they were fucked, you know? Right. But, like, all of the autistic people I've met, when I meet their parents, I'm usually not surprised, you know? Like... I appreciate Soul Reaver a lot more now. Holy shit, these puzzles must have been a bitch and a fuck to design.
It's like edgy Zelda. That's what this game is.
Endless Jess says, I am an old type. I live to eradicate new types. Hashtag normie pride. This is coming from a man whose entire house is covered in pop culture references and who quotes something in every word that he speaks. Just saying.
Man, that's so fucking cool. No, stop draining my soul.
Please eradicate us, Jess. Yeah, now that I think about it.
Fuck.
Did you ever listen to Sleep's Dope Smoker during the weed era? I think I did at least once. And it sounds like any doom metal album. They're all exact, or stoner metal. They're all the same album, written 1,000 times. Are either of you guys doing anything for NaNoWriMo? I don't know if Tom cares about writing at all. Tom's just making his game.
Yeah, I'm just kind of...
How close? Like, do you think you're gonna be on track to have an alpha build out by your birthday?
Well, that is in 2 days. I'm getting... I could release it. I mean, I released what I have to patrons, and they're playing it, and they're giving me feedback and stuff, so...
Alright.
It is like a game. There is a winnable state and everything now.
Yeah, that's why I'm really afraid to go to therapy. Being diagnosed would send me into a paranoia spiral instantly. Right now, all I have to do is deal with my shit, and I know how to deal with me, but I don't fucking know how to deal with some fucking psychological disease. I mean, if you have it, you already have it. It's not like getting a diagnosis will make you different somehow.
It won't make you different, but you'll just be cognitive. Like, right now, like, for me, like, all my shit... I've never been diagnosed with anything, so it's just like, I'm just an idiot.
I mean, the fact of the matter is that a diagnosis doesn't even mean anything.
It doesn't...
Like, it means that this person's opinion is that you might have something resembling the common conception of this.
It's just that it's like psychologically now you have like an excuse almost.
Yeah, and even if you are diagnosed, like, they don't know what to do about it. Because there's like everyone has different ideas of the approach. Some people are going to be like, oh, you should get medicated. And then there's like 20 different medications that could potentially help you, but they have no idea which one because everyone's brain is unique. And they're just going to prescribe you the one that they get paid to shill. So like fucking at the end of the day, getting a diagnosis, it won't help you at all. Unless you are so lucky that you happen to get the right person who finds the right solution. But, like, either way, you're going to have to learn the same coping mechanisms one way or the other. I've been so disillusioned with fucking psychiatry. I fucking can't fucking take it seriously at all. Psychology is fine. Like studying your mind is good, and I think people should try to understand their own mind as much as possible. But, like, trying to, like, put terms on it, like describe it in like specific medical terms and fucking treat it with like medication, largely asinine.
The block. Oh, there we go.
Diagnoses are useful for other people. You can show your parents or your work and they will understand it much easier, even though it's obviously not a real representation of you as a person. That's impossible. Yeah, that's something I like I wish I would almost want to be diagnosed with something just so I could go around and tell people. I mean, I went to a psychologist for a good 6 months and he was like, you might have ADHD, you might just be depressed, it could be whatever. You know, like I was ultimately treated for depression and not like he had thought maybe I should take like Ritalin, and that's not what happened. I was prescribed by a psychiatrist who knew nothing about me, Wellbutrin, and it had an effect on my brain that ultimately was helpful to me. It didn't cure anything. It just had an effect that that was helpful in the long run, you know? So, can I say it was good? I guess. Was it the best idea possible? Probably not. Fucked up my eyes. No, I blinked too much. Tom Oliver game, sick impact hits and sound effects.
Yeah, those came together really well, and I'm pretty stoked about it. feels pretty good to kill shit.
ZZ Mop says, I mean, calling a diagnosis just this person's opinion is really reductive, Digi. I trust some dude's opinion on my mental state significantly more if they did like 12 plus years of schooling on it. I don't trust people for having done, like, not that I don't trust their schooling, that I don't trust them more. I've seen so many people, like, abuse the idea of, like, how experienced they are, even though, like, okay, maybe they had 12 years of schooling at the time, and then 3 years later, like, most of the information is totally different, and they have not kept up with it, you know? Like, these are fields where, like, we're doing the best we can with what knowledge we have, but we don't understand enough to have, like, really confident opinions on it, you know? It's like okay, like this idea of like autism as a spectrum, it's like it's because we just don't understand the brain well enough, and brains are too different from one another for us to have clearer terms. So it's just like, I don't think they're like, you could have like the most cutting edge knowledge of the brain and only understand like 5% of the brain for all we know, you know. And I mean, and I'm exaggerating with these figures, like, you know, 5%, whatever, just throwing out a number, but like, it's, you know, just consider that as a thought experiment, if you will. I know I've said this before, but everything I say is a thought experiment. Don't take any of it too literally. This is like just Tomb Raider without tank controls.
Yeah, so better.
Yeah, I mean, it does look more fun than Tomb Raider. The aesthetic is also fantastic.
Yeah, this game's fucking great so far. I have no complaints. Plus, it has a really cool character design, and the dialogue.
It won't make me different, but it will make me deal with a thing in a way that others expect me to deal with. Right now, I could burn a chair and feel calm afterwards. After diagnosis, I'd be expected to take a medicine that makes my dick limp and my mind foggy. I'd rather burn shit, nigga. Okay, first of all, burning chairs? What the fuck are you on about? Sounds awesome, and I would definitely advise you continue doing that. I mean, having a diagnosis doesn't mean you have to take medication. I would advise against it. But, I mean, if you're satisfied burning chairs, fucking go for it, dude. Don't go to no fucking doctor. Just burn more fucking chairs.
Yeah, we all have our own coping mechanisms.
Yeah. I just drink. I don't burn anything. So I'm clearly doing it wrong.
Shit.
I knew a guy before and after he was diagnosed with autism, and it shows how he, like, shrugged off some of his more annoying habits with his diagnosis. Also, Digi, now that you're close to the end of the chat, just go on the internet or sing the Neo Ranga theme.
Oh.
Neo Ranga, yeah, Kuranga, Aso, Soyashi, Ranga, ne. That's as far as I know it. I don't really know the lyrics.
You gotta cheer.
Alright, let me catch up to the cheer. Oh god, way more chat happened while I was reading those autism things. Jalen gave us 16 cents. Tom and Digi, what are your top 10 favorite games? Also, here's the rest of my bits. Top 10?
Ooh.
Alright. I'm gonna pull this out of my ass.
Go for it.
I'm gonna fill half of it with Souls games, as I want to do. So we got Dark Souls 3, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Demon Souls. So that's 4. Ocarina of Time, Mass Effect 2. We could throw in the Wind Waker. Oh boy. Phantasy Star Online. That might be actually my favorite game of all time. Phantasy Star Online episodes 1 and 2. Super Metroid maybe. Super Meat Boy maybe. I don't really know. I don't have a clear top 10. It's been too long since I played most of the games that I considered favorites at a time. I like Doom 2016 a whole lot. There you go. I named at least 10 games. What about you, Tom? Can you name 10 games that you would consider
Devil
potential
May
top
Cry, Mass Effect series, Guilty Gear, Doom, all of them. They're all fucking good. What else? Fucking Shinobi for PS2. Undertale. Not a full HP thing. And Soul Reaver. That's why everyone should be watching us right now. Because it's the best game ever made. I don't know how many that was. Ninja Gaiden. The original Ninja Gaiden Black. That was another fucking amazing game.
How many games have you named?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
I wasn't even listening to you at all. I was trying to read all this fucking shit about
Oh,
doctors.
fuck you, faggot!
You should just have a list of character action games and just assume that's Tom's favorite games.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much on point. I'll have a couple like weird other choices in there.
Oh boy, no thanks. Says, have you seen the Gifted Kid Burnout Bingo? Yes, we were gonna do a video about that on the Corrupting Your Kids channel because May and I both were like every single thing on the board was us. You remember that?
Yeah.
That shit was funny as fuck. I laughed really fucking hard when I read through that the first time. I'm gonna look it up so I can test Tom.
What is it?
Gifted Kid Burnout Bingo.
Oh, that seems unfortunate.
All right. Yeah, I burst out laughing because the very first thing on there is this just the DSM book is the first square. It fucking made me die. So that's definite check for me. Losing interest in quitting anything that doesn't come easily to you. That's a check for me. Fear of not living up to potential. Big check for me.
Yep.
Thinking you're better than everyone else despite having nothing to show for it. Absolutely. Refusing to ask for help. Absolutely. So I've already got bingo on the whole top row. Existential anxiety. Yes. Time to drink. Yes. Always looking for a new form of escapism. Yes. Interest in psychology. Yes. Although I feel like the DSM already covered that. Unless that just means you have a psychological disorder. Either way it works. Need for constant validation. Yes. Easily bored. Yes. Very critical of government. Yes. Thinking you're destined for greatness. Yes. Non-existent motivation. A lot of the time. Issues with authority. Yes. Always tired. Yes. Reads Wikipedia articles in free time. Yes. One space is just a pot leaf. Absolutely. I think that's a pot leaf. Not trying in school or work because you think the work is pointless. Yes. Always making excuses. Yes. Trust issues. Big yes. Need for instant gratification. Yes. Risk-taking behavior. Yes. And night owl. Yes. So I have literally everything on the board is accurate to my life. Sorry, I was trying to test you, but I ended up testing myself.
Well, a lot of those.
I realized it would be hard for me to track the actual bingo whether you got it or not without using some kind of visual representation.
This is a puzzle.
Celar says, weird. I remember this part of Soul Reaver being way late in the game.
I already beat half the game. That's what happened.
That can't be true.
No, it's not. No, this is early in the game. I remember this being the part where I was just like, oh right, I have to think playing this game. I just don't know how to move the blocks. Because I think I need to get both of the blocks up top now. And,
okay, I want to address, because this guy said, like, about my maybe 3 years later, all the information will be different. He says, doesn't really apply to psychology in a major way. And even if that were the case, there'd be literally no one who understands the ever-changing landscape of these fields better than the people who've dedicated their lives to studying them, you know? I don't disagree. It's not that... I just think that that's an idealistic view of the people who actually practice in these fields. Like, I think that there's... Like, yes, the people who are going to know the most will be people who are studying it. However, that doesn't mean that everyone who practices it is that group of people. Like, I think that the number of people who go to school for something and then have a career in it because they went to school for it but have no legitimate passion for it or real understanding of it beyond what they had to learn to do the job is staggering in any field, if that makes sense. Like, and the psychiatrists that I've met were a lot of shady fucks. Like, the one who I went to, like, knew nothing about me and just simply would write up prescriptions as soon as I walked into his office.
Right, because they get paid to sell prescriptions.
Yeah. So, like, and he was just seemed like a real shady fucking kind of guy. So, like, I'm just saying that for the most part, I trust them and anybody on Earth as far as I can throw them. But we just went through the bingo. Trust issues. I had a big check mark on that. So, you know.
How am I going to get these blocks up here? How am I going to do it?
What Linkin Park song do you still like, if any?
All of them.
There's a bunch of...
All of Hybrid Theory and Meteor.
Between their first two albums, I think there is one album worth of great songs. Like, if you took all the best songs from those two, you could make a great album out of it.
Man, there's something really obvious staring me in the face that I'm not seeing right now. And the reason I'm not seeing is because I don't have free camera control. So I can't just look around the environment. Oh dear. Maybe move this block, but I already did.
Yo, Digi, been rewatching Log Horizon, and I'm in the middle of the second season, and I don't think I agree with you that everything in the second season is just as good as the first because pacing and artwork, besides pacing and artwork. Well, you'll have to make an argument then.
Shit, pickle.
I think calling kids gifted is such an awful idea. It really fucks with the way they think in childhood. I agree. Being considered gifted is, well, it's simultaneously the best thing that ever happened to me and the worst, because it depends on how you look at it. If I hadn't been called gifted, I probably would have just been a normie, and normies seem happy, but then, like, I have no respect for them, so I don't know, like, is it worth it to be, like, completely egotistical but also miserable all the time? I have no fucking idea. I mean, I'm happy with my life right now, so as far as I'm concerned, everything worked out. Like, whatever my upbringing was, ultimately it worked out. But I did go to a gifted school. I did drop out of it, but my teacher did get fired. So you can cut that however you want it. Digi, now that I'm old enough to legally drink, what are some good suggestions? I'm drinking Golden Monkey right now, which is pretty easy to find in most places, super high alcohol content, and it tastes pretty good. But if you're just starting out, I mean, you gotta figure out your weight class first. You don't want to jump straight to something this powerful. So, like, great starter beers are like Dos Equis or Tecate, fucking Bud Light Platinum might be a good starter. I mean, if you're just, like, if you haven't drank any alcohol at all, maybe just get some Mike's Hard Lemonade. That'll teach you how to, like, what being drunk is like without having to learn to appreciate the taste of alcohol at all. Because it just tastes like lemonade with a little spritz to it, you know? And it's alcoholic as fuck. I feel like I gave the advice backwards, but, you know. I'm getting on in years. It's hard to remember what it was like to be a new drinker. If I remember correctly, you have to line up the blocks so that you can jump on them in the spiritual world. They don't move in spirit mode. Also, you can do a huge jump if you crouch and then jump. I think it's necessary in this part.
Yeah, line up the blocks. I mean, I know you can't move the blocks when you're in the spectral plane, which is why I'm just kind of maneuvering around right now. So I thought you had to... So you need to go this way, but there's like space for 2 blocks, so somehow you gotta move the blocks over here? That don't seem right. I don't know how to get them all the way over here.
This is neither the PlayStation version nor the PC version, Funny Bunny. This is the Dreamcast version.
The superior version.
Mm-hmm. Fuck, I can't remember how to solve this puzzle, but it's something dumb/simple.
Yeah, they always are.
Oh, we got Agent Orange subscribed to the Tier 1 sub for the 2nd month in a row.
Oh,
hell yeah.
Shit.
Big ups. Hey Tom, did you write a game design document for your project, or did you just kind of jump into it? I wanted to get into some practice writing one and was wondering if you'd have any advice or tips or whatever.
I just kind of started going. Well, that's not exactly true. I don't even know what would go into a game design doc. I just had a notepad. I was writing ideas down for the game idea, and just I wanted to do this and I wanted to do that. Then I just started building, because the whole point of the thing I'm building right now is just to make something for myself. It's not going to be sold. It's just going to be for free on on the web. It's going to be an HTML file. If I make an actual full game, I'll probably go into an actual game design doc. Okay, how do I want it all planned out and stuff. But this is more just for me. Just okay, I can do it. I can make a game and people will like it.
Ninja Jeff says, at Digi, I don't understand not wanting downtime in a stream. Do you never stop talking to your friends? If we stop speaking, I leave the room and go do something else.
That is not even an exaggeration. If me and Digi aren't talking, he's gone. And I'm well, I guess back to the drawing board.
Is that not normal?
I don't know if I'd say it's not normal, but I don't know. Some small talk is a thing that we do not do.
I don't small talk with anybody.
Right.
I want to be stimulated at all times, you know. I mean, when we have all our friends around and we're having a big hangout, yeah, it's constant, nonstop, chaotic. Nobody hanging out with members of the PCP IRL is indistinguishable from the podcast. If you've ever listened to the show, that is exactly what it's like for us to actually be in a room together having a conversation.
Yeah.
Just with a little bit less, it's less stressful because we can actually see each other and therefore don't have to fucking try to talk over each other.
There were 2 boxes here the whole time. I didn't see them.
Well,
I think. Alright, because some of the spectral coins I can't. Oh my god. I was trying to figure out how to get the other box. I thought this puzzle was way more complicated than it actually is.
No, that's what that guy implied.
I didn't think it was that.
We got a quarter from Tommaso Choco Taco.
Hell yeah. I flip one of these.
What is GATE? No thank you asked if we were in the GATE program and if we'd heard the conspiracy theory around it.
I don't know what that is. It sounds cool.
I've never heard of it.
Enlighten me, please.
By the way, Digi, I meant to bring this up in Digi versus Everybody call, but I forget. I'm so mad that you once described White Iverson as just Hotline Bling or something to that effect. Okay, every single Post Malone song is just Hotline Bling. If you listen to the actual beat, it just is Congratulations is Hotline Bling. Rockstar basically is Hotline Bling, just reimagined in different ways. I'm gonna shut up about this because Tom has no idea what I'm talking about for sure.
Here's a question.
Do you like Brockhampton? Not that much. What are you about to ask?
I have a feeling that's going to require me to have the symbol facing outward. So I don't think if I just put it in here, it's going to be you're done.
Also unrelated, but after hearing Tom complain about the controls of both Fortnite and Smash Bros. Melee, I don't trust his opinions on whether or not a control scheme is good or well designed.
Alright, I don't trust your opinion either.
Fair slice.
I will say that, Melee controls way better than Fortnite.
Menard subscribed with Twitch Prime.
Yeah!
Big ups.
Alright, I did it. I made it past that stupid
Did
puzzle.
you hear the new MSI album? What?
No.
What?
Is it terrible?
Why would it be?
Is it still possible for a band to be around that long to still be good?
I mean, they've they've been consistently. Well, wait, which there is no new. The last one they put out was in 2015. Unless that's the one you meant, like, disambiguate the word new, because they haven't put out an album in years.
Oh god, I'm back here. Okay. All that to get another block, I suppose. Maybe.
I want to be stimulated at all times, but I'm not sure if I have ADHD. Well, I mean, attention deficit, I assume, means that you cannot pay attention to something for an extended period, rather than, like, I can pay attention to one thing for like an infinite amount of time as long as it remains engaging. But then again, I think that's usually the case. Like, I think that most, like, the idea of ADD was like a misguided, like, they were like, oh, this kid can't pay attention in school, so he can't pay attention. And it's like, no, he can't pay attention because it's school. Like I couldn't pay attention to school because school was boring and seemed like a waste of fucking time. But I can easily pay attention to anything I care about. I can spend like literally 9 hours making a list, like not even getting up to eat or piss, like just fucking grinding on a list for 9 hours. Which is how I know I am autistic, but... Are you not stimulated by the presence of people you love? Like, I mean, I don't know. That's like a weird description of being in someone's presence, is being stimulated by like merely being nearby to a person.
There's gotta be a free look option in this game. There has to be. I don't get it. This game's too smart for me.
I can't see what connection you're drawing between Post Malone's discography and Hotline Bling other than basic meter that's present in literally every rap song. It's the same beat. Like, go listen to Congratulations, and it's got that like beat, and just listen to Hotline Bling, and it's like, I know when that hotline. It's the same fucking beat. I can't really describe it well, but if you can't see it, then you're fucking blind. When I lived in Virginia, I was in GATE. It was way better than normal school. Then I moved to Cali, and they didn't have GATE, and I started failing all my classes. I don't know what GATE is. I hear a sound of a bits. Doesn't look like it's a lot, though. Does Tom listen to Denzel Curry? No. Tom only, as far as I know, Tom exclusively listens to Opeth and, like, a few metalcore bands.
I just listen to metal a lot.
It's not an MSI album, it's Jimmy Urin's album. I think Serge Tankian is in it. Whoa. Well, I definitely want to hear that. I'm real curious what he would have put out that he felt should not be under the MSI name. Yeah, apparently it features Serge Tankian and fucking Gerard Way and Grimes. Well, I want to hear this. It appears to just be on Mindless Self-Indulgence's Bandcamp. I will definitely be checking that out after today's stream. The first song is called Trigger Warning, so
well,
I can tell he's been online.
I'm already interested.
Track 3 is called Problematic. Alright.
Oh.
I'm ready for this. I'm ready to realize that I'm still on the same page as Jimmy after all these decades. it kind of was like wondering if like when I listen to MSI, I feel like surely this is the kind of shit that like could not fly at fucking all in today's climate. So
Right.
I'm curious what he has to say about it.
We're getting close to the first boss. I feel like this is where kind of near where the first boss is, but I could be totally making that up. Oh, I guess there was an elevator.
Okay, CM United says, dude, that's the problem with the name ADHD. It's really more that it's attention regulation deficit. Yeah, I mean, if people are supposed to be able to regulate their attention span, I definitely cannot do that.
A lot of the humans are just pushovers in this game. Oh, embarrassing.
Can Tom give us all the ideas he has for games?
I don't have like a ton. I just have like 2 Azumi games, maybe a third one that would kind of be a blend of the 2 extremes of the first 2. I have that idea for like the mom that goes to chase after her daughter. She goes to the forest and like the visuals get more fucked up as she keeps having to do more and more horrible things. That's really it.
This person says, hey Digi, could you try to pronounce my name again, please? Last time I said menage, but if that's not the answer, then menage? Menage? It's spelled menage.
Menage. Yeah.
But all one word.
We're in the men age now, that's for sure. Alright, let's switch. Oh god, I have no idea what I'm doing right now. I'm just kind of going around, pressing things, seeing what happens.
Digi, you gonna start doing main channel top 10 videos? I always hear you talk about how you like top 10s, but haven't seen many from you. The problem with doing top 10s for me is that I want to know with absolute certainty what the top 10 are, and I will never know that, because that would like if I wanted to make the top 10 like best looking anime, I would not be comfortable until I had seen every anime that is good looking at all and compared them.
That's why you gotta say the top 10 best anime that I know of.
Yeah.
There you go, you're done. That means you can keep recycling that idea and do it over and over again, and it's fine, because it's always changing as your experiences grow.
Tito Kazim just subscribed with the tier 1 sub for the 2nd year in a row.
The second year?
2nd month, I meant.
Oh my god, he's giving us so much money. Give me that soul.
Did you, what Linkin Park songs do you still like, if any? I don't like... I can't think of a bunch of names off the top of my head. I made a tweet about this like a year and a half ago, I think. Maybe not even that long ago. Just like go to search my Twitter handle and Linkin Park, and I literally posted a list of all the songs that I thought were still good at some point. Selhar says MSI is extremely popular in Brazilian leftist circles, though. That's the thing, though. Back in the 2000s, like, the Democrats and, like, the leftists were free speech advocates. Like, they were for edgy jokes. Even in the early 2010s, like, up until the SJW movement, it was not a, liberal people were, like, super pro-free speech. Like, it was the conservatives who fucking, like, banned video games and shit, like, who fucking caused all those issues. Like, when I was growing up, it was considered that, like, oh, conservatives are fucking prudes who fucking have Christian values and don't believe in, like, all this, like, progressive stuff. And now somehow the tables got turned, and it makes no fucking sense. What does Tom think of Soul Reaver so far?
Love it. It's great shit.
Good to know.
Wish I was smarter so I could do the puzzles faster, but it's never been my strong suit in video games.
Well, according to whoever it was, like, running around desperately trying to figure out the puzzle is like generally the Soul Reaver experience. Like it's bound to be the case. Everyone has this problem. And from the people I've known who played these games, that definitely seems to be the case. Like, the biggest complaint about them is always, like, that moment when you're just, like, stuck.
Yeah, I can't really get too mad at the game for that, though, because, like, that's the point of a puzzle.
Apparently Gate was gifted in talented education. What are your favorite startup noises? I think it's 1 Dreamcast, 2 PS2, and 3 classic Sonic Sega. The PS2 startup noise is fucking awful. I hate that shit. The just sounds like fucking...
I don't think it sounds like that at all, but okay.
It's just a giant explosion of noise.
The PS1 has the best boot up noise.
The PS1's is much better than the PS2's. The PS2's is startling and fucking, like, still to this day, I fucking jump when I hear that shit. And if your TV, if you don't know how loud your TV is before you turn that shit on.
I like the boot up for the PS2 when the game starts. That was cool.
What about the GameCube with the?
It's become a meme. I can't appreciate it like I used to.
Sega. I mean, that's like classic.
Yeah, I don't know what to do. What do I do? Where do I go?
Oh yeah, I gotta say the GBA is my favorite for sure.
GBA is sick. Am I the only one who's like, when I first got my GBA and I turned it on, it did that and it blew my fucking mind? It's like, whoa, this is so much more advanced. It's actually advanced. Fucking die. Dude, I'm running out of soul power, man. It's not good. Alright, there's something needs to be done with this block, and yet it doesn't move anywhere.
I get the contention
Unless
with
it's just
the
for me to jump
SJW.
back out. That's a possibility, I suppose. Maybe it has nothing to do with that at all.
I get the contention with the SJW movement, but people have been acting like it's becoming this fascist thought-controlling regime, which is so mind-numbing. I mean, it certainly appears that way, like, with
seems
the
like
results of what is happening.
Seems like the inevitable end goal.
Gurren Lagann is one of the best-looking anime of all time that shows a decade old and still looks better than most that come out today. IMO. It's pretty fucking good. I don't know if I'd call it one of the best looking of all time, but it's definitely great looking. Conservatives are still prudes, they just change what they about. Now they're offended by people being offended, it's all the same shit, and endless Ouroboros of stupid fucks whining about stupid shit. I don't disagree with that. I mean, I can't stand people who identify with either group. Like, if you put yourself in a category, you're probably a boring fuck. But
damn it,
in terms of which group I have to interact, like I have to be at odds with more, I've had more issues having to deal with SJWs, but you know, either one, I'm sure the conservatives would be like, I guess it's only because of the fact that my audience is overwhelmingly liberal that I have to deal with SJWs, like that, you know. Will you make a Frank Jeff C style video on how to make anime analysis? I've done plenty of videos about how to do that, and also it's the easiest thing in the world. Like, there is nothing to really teach.
Huh. I guess maybe the area I was in before could have changed because this is pushed down. Maybe that's what I'm missing. You know what? I think my problem right now is that I'm assuming the game is more complicated than it actually is.
Tom, is there any beat 'em ups that you like?
Beat 'em ups? Streets of Rage was like my jam as a kid. I played that all the time. That and Golden Axe. Fucking awesome shit. They announced Streets of Rage 4 a couple months ago, which is like weird. And I'm terrified it's gonna suck, but like the trailer for it had like a 2D like animation trailer and it looked fucking crazy. So
Dynex Jack, which is just how I've been saying your name forever, but I don't know how it's pronounced, subscribed again for the second month in a row.
What a winner.
What a fucking winner.
Indeed.
Twitch tricked me into resubbing, so here. In Log Horizon 2, a lot of the world building feels more in service of the characters. In Season 1, the arcs of the characters would lead to big moments about the world, like Linesia's resolve to ask the adventurers for help would lead to that huge moment where they're mobilized because of the Moe girl. In Season 2, the introduction of teachings is more for Akatsuki to go through her arc, but not being a huge aspect of the world itself. I mean, the teachings is like established from like early on into the show, like this idea that you have to master something personally in order to be able to do it. I like the idea of the teachings a whole lot. Like everybody has their own teachings. It's not just a Akatsuki thing. It's like basically once you've come to understand yourself as a person, then you can do like baller shit. I don't know. It's hard for me to like comprehend your argument because like I don't think of the show in the terms that you're describing in the first place. Like that's not the kind of stuff I would be thinking about while watching the show. I'm just going to skip over all the rest of the political dialogue that I've accidentally opened up because I don't care enough.
You fool.
Meme Manifest subscribed to the tier 2 sub for 4 months in a row.
Whoa!
And says vote up monkeys. Agreed. Absolutely agreed. I hate monkeys.
I think I need to get all these gears started going again, but I cannot interact with any of this shit. Losing souls.
I opened a huge fucking can of worms talking about SJWs. Not even that there's any debate going on, just like everybody's with like paragraph long like stances on the subject, and I'm just like, oh, I don't want to read any of this.
Well, it's a hot topic, and it's especially important today.
Do you plan on doing any long-form manga analysis videos on the main channel? I have no plans for anything of the sort. Because I don't really read manga.
Why is that weird on now? I don't understand what is happening.
Yo, bloodstains on enemies in a PS1/Dreamcast game? Crazy. I know, dude. This game is really fucking detailed.
Okay, another thing that I was telling you about this, but like the stream doesn't know. This was one of the first games that had no loading screens at all.
That's crazy.
They had this whole engine they specifically designed where the levels, everything in the game is divided into blocks. Like each room is called a block. And the game would constantly keep 3 blocks in memory. The one you're in, the one before, and the one after. So every time you would go into another room, it would drop the last one out of the rotation and load the next. So there was never any loading. It was one of the first games to have like streaming like that.
Do you think the people in this chat could write your anime analysis for you? No. Not even slightly.
Get fucked. He just called you all retarded.
I didn't call them retarded. I just don't think they'd be able to represent my opinions. Hey, Digi, heard you've been looking at Pokemon analysis stuff. Who has the hottest take on Gen 4? I have no idea. That's not the kind of analysis I've been looking at. People who use the term SJWs unironically need to be put in concentration camps from spicy salts.
Sounds like a spicy salts.
You know they came up with it themselves, right? Like It started when people literally were calling themselves social justice warriors. It was a huge movement on Tumblr. Like, when I first ran in with them, it was like, that's how I was introduced to them, was by them being like, hey, we are social justice warriors and we are taking down this thing. And then, like, when the other side caught on to that, they took that term and they made it into a bad thing very quickly. Soul Reaver was my childhood. Good to know.
I didn't play it enough. I don't remember why I stopped. Maybe because I rented it and didn't own it. Because I don't have the disc hanging around. That seems very plausible. Oh, I don't know what to do.
Weekly reminder that nobody has forgotten about the Eureka 7 group watch. Look, I didn't think through this whole group watch thing very well, nor any aspect of my Patreon as it stands, and I need to rectify it, and I don't know how.
If you guys want group watches and you're upset that Digi isn't doing a group watch, wait like 2 weeks and I'm going to change my Patreon and maybe I'll add a group watch.
Yeah, or we could just go organize one in IM Games or something.
We need to organize an IM Games jam. That's going to be sick as fuck. We have so many people who make games, and it would inspire more people to make games. And then we'd have a stream where we would just play all the games from the game jam.
You consume a lot of analysis. What do you think is the genre with the best analysis? Genre. Do you just mean like medium? Medium, it would be video games, because there's just way more people doing it in much more depth. Western RPGs have a lot of good analysis channels. Like, it seems like people who are into Western RPGs are like, because those games have a lot of depth, and that's kind of the point, like, people like to talk about them. They seem like the most boring games to play in the world unless you are just obsessed with games having as much depth as possible. So that might be why.
I saw a video about Skyrim where someone's like, I'm reading all the books in Skyrim to you so you don't have to look for them. It was like a 7-hour video.
Jesus Christ.
I
wouldn't consider that a good example of depth in a Western RPG.
Has a ton of books, man. Has a depth
of
reading material.
We'll say it has breadth.
Where do I go? What do I do?
By the way, Digi, Shame isn't just a nobody. He's a writer for Did You Know Gaming. Well. Cool.
What am I missing? I'm missing something really obvious right now.
I don't watch that often, but do you guys plan on playing Dragon Quest XI? I just finished and thought it was really good. No, there was a period where that was going to be a game I was going to play for the show. I played about 45 minutes of it, or maybe it was more than that. I played under 2 hours and then sold it back to Steam because I didn't like it at all. Is Pantsu Party dead? I don't think so. Hey Mark, have you heard anything about Pantsu Party?
No, I haven't heard shit.
Yeah, I heard nothing? Alright, well, no one's heard anything about it. So, alive or dead is completely unknown to anyone. Tom, what is the Master Race channel of the Discord for?
It's for people who are Twitch subscribers.
Yeah, if you're a subscriber, you have that channel. That's why you have it. Because you are a subscriber. Hey Tom, is it possible to do smears in 3D like in Izumi's attack animation? Because it looks fucking sick and I want it in.
Yeah, I actually do have a smear effect set up on the 3D model of Izumi. I didn't use it for the 2D effects just because the animations for the 2D were all frame by frame, and the smear in 3D required tweening to work because it interpolates between those keyframes. So I didn't end up using it, but it will work for like animations for 3D stuff. It looks pretty cool.
Do you think depth in games can only apply to subject matter and story shit? What about mechanical depth, like with MOBAs? I mean, mechanical depth is super interesting. That's most of what I like. Also watch, like I was talking about Western RPGs, because there's like a bunch of channels that cover those, but like there's also tons of channels about mechanical depth, but there's not like one genre. I guess fighting games have a lot of great analysis of like extreme tech, and Pokemon, like Pokemon has ludicrous amounts of mechanics analysis. Jesse says, I'm so confused about this Mark meme. Mark is our resident who sits off camera for the most part. He is a demi boy.
Mark is like our
who got a tit job so that he could be on camera in the Soul Calibur stream. So if you watch that, you can see Mark.
Mark's our Sean from early Biggest Problem.
Yeah. Mark is Sean before Sean was an actual co-host. Back when Sean was just a giggling voice in the background that chimed in like for 2 lines an episode, maybe. But unlike Sean, who refused to ever bring in a problem, Mark actually got in on the stream and got a tit job and everything just to be on stream. So Mark greater than Sean.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue with that.
Once me and Tom inevitably have a huge scathing breakup and make 2 different live stream shows that compete and have a $20 million lawsuit between us, we'll have to fight over who gets Mark on our show.
Who would be the Maddox and who would be the Dick Masterson in that scenario?
We're both the Maddox.
I was about to say, neither of us are a dick, that's for sure.
But Digi got somebody laid.
Yeah, I got someone laid, so I am now America's wingman, number 2. I've also been watching Dick, like, for the last 2 days non-stop while I play Tales of Fantasia.
Oh my god, I'm so retarded.
I don't think there's any, like, personality I've listened to who I just generally, like, find myself in abject agreement with more than Dick Masterson. Not even that I agree with him on everything, just that it's more than any other person I've listened to talk for any amount of time. But then I don't know how much of that is because my worldview comes from him.
Chicken and egg sort of thing.
Yeah.
Alright.
It's been years by now that I've been listening to that motherfucker. Meme Manifest says, turn on radio, get ad for mandatory voting laws. Epic authoritarian time.
Mandatory voting laws? From whom?
I mean, I know they have that in Australia. You have to vote there.
Well, pretty wild.
Yeah.
Come on, bitch. Bring it. Run for me.
Melee analysis is so great, but it's usually not geared towards people who don't already play it competitively. This is true. I was watching some today from False Swipe Gaming. And, I mean, I understand it because of the fact that, you know, like, I mean, if you've at least seen the Smash doc, it's a good intro, too. And then, like, my buddy Brandon Tolentino is a huge fucking Smash player, so, like, I know enough about the meta that it's not too difficult to watch those kinds of videos.
Fuck. Where I go? What do I do?
Jesse says he got a tit job so he could be on a video game stream and sent me spiraling into a whole new world of confusion. It's not, the funny part is that it's not complicated what this joke is, but explaining it would ruin it.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those things where, like, I can't.
You're just gonna have to figure it out.
You just gotta figure it out, because if we explained it, then it wouldn't be funny anymore. It would be dead. Just don't overthink it. It's exactly what you think it is. Mark needs to up his zinger game if he wants that Sean status, though. I don't know. Mark's usually zingering it up. Like, most of what Mark says is zinger, so I feel like we're on track.
Also, Sean definitely, like, the zingers got more frequent as the show went on, so
yeah. The
deeper we get into this clusterfuck of a show.
How is Tales of Fantasia? It's pretty good. It's better than I expected. It's fairly mindless. I don't think I'd be... There's two things that would make it less fun for me. One, if not for the luck of, like, I got pretty lost early in the game and very quickly became super over-leveled. So, like, challenge-wise, the game is almost trivial. But I'm fine with that, because I like to play mindless action RPGs while I listen to Dick Show. And also, there's a lot of places where it's very fucking unclear what you're supposed to do, and if I didn't have game FAQs, I would be fucking pissed.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that right now. I have no fucking idea what to do.
I can open up a fucking FAQ if you want, although I don't know where you are, how to describe where
I'm
you
not
are.
ready to give up just yet. But
Where's SAO Weekly? Oh, God. I keep forgetting I have to do that this week. There's not a whole lot to say about the new SAO. It's just a bunch of... As usual, it's a bunch of people standing around talking about fucking nothing. I tend to go on Dick binges, I guess, since I know I'll never be caught up. I just have Dick in my ear for weeks at a time. Yeah, I usually do that too. I let it... I mean, there was a time where I was on point every week because I was lonely and I needed it, but now I haven't. Like, the only reason I'm catching up at the moment is that I am playing a video game that is long. And, like, it's so difficult for me to justify playing video games to myself if I don't know that it's for a higher purpose. But in this case, like, I'm very confident that a Tales of series is, like, the most in my wheelhouse thing that I can do that can be a big success potentially. So, like, I have a lot of hope riding on it. And, so it was like, alright, I'm going to do this. I'm just going to play this game for the 36 to 40 hours that it's going to take. And I'm just going to believe that it will be worth it. So, in order to justify this, I'm going to have to listen to a lot of fucking Dick. If that makes sense. Is Brandon still obsessed with Street Fighter? I have no idea. I haven't talked to any of my old friends in like 2 years. I want to start doing Toku character design analysis videos, but I hate the sound of my own voice. Do it anyways. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, agreed.
I want to see that. Tom, I'm pretty sure the puzzle isn't in this room. You solve the puzzle in another room and this engine starts running after you solve it.
I did start the engine earlier. I just found a hidden pathway, though, so I'm just going down the path now. I've exhausted all my other options, so...
According to people who have been playing the full demo of Smash, Pikachu is the new best character. We Smash 64 now. Sounds dope. Is it good? Has people said if it's good? I know people have been playing the demo, and I mostly was hearing doomsaying, but I don't know why. I was hearing it very out of the corner of my ear.
You're hearing Melee players.
Who knows?
Alright, well, I burned those things. I don't know if that did anything, but did it.
You're against voting. What's your opinion on spoiling ballot? I don't know what that means.
What is it?
Spoiling ballot? I thought Digi would hate Tales because of generic anime plot. I mean,
he does.
Every video game has a generic anime plot, but like Tales of Symphonia was like my first ever love. That was my favorite game of all time for a long time.
Okay, I brought this down here.
Jesse says, I watched anime with a good normie boy and came to the conclusion SAO is actually good. I mean, if you're that determined to be a normie, then more power to you, my dude. This stream has the 160p, etc. quality settings, FYI. Good. We actually just got approved for Twitch partnership. We haven't set it up yet, though. We mentioned this on stream, right?
I believe so.
I wouldn't get too excited about the potential success of a video series about the Tales series. It's popular, but it's not exactly a massive series. I don't know, dude. Like, not only... Like, I mean, they're not still super popular, but the nostalgia for stuff like Symphonia is pretty fucking huge. And, like, there's a lot of people who care about them. And just the thought of it being, like, a full-bore retrospective, I think would get people excited. Because it's not going to be, like, short videos on each game. It's going to be, like, a full fucking huge shit. Like, I got 3 pages of notes so far. And I'm, like, 60% of the way, maybe 70%. I'm not sure. Depends on if I decide to do side quests or anything at the end.
There was another path that I could go down, but I blocked it by burning these things.
How do you feel about the Final Fantasy X battle system? If you like it a lot, then Trails in the Sky system is kind of like that, but with grid-based movement. I like it a lot, but grid-based movement is always, like, I don't understand that shit in RPGs, like in turn-based RPGs. I guess I've never played one that has it, but, like, when I look at it, it looks terrifying. What is the one video game genre that the two of you give no shits about? I mean, there's plenty. Sports, simulators, fucking... I feel like there's more I could name.
Racing.
Real-time strategy. Point and click. And I don't mean... Or I should say... anything where you move by clicking the mouse.
That doesn't bother me like it bothers you, but...
Will you ever play Final Fantasy X-2? I had started playing it right after beating Final Fantasy X, and it was so different that
right, boss battle. Like, here we go.
Just decided to put it on hold. Because I was, like, not in the right mind space to try it. Alright, people are saying that apparently the new Smash is, like, considerably better than Smash 4. So, that's cool. Everyone's talking about how fucking garbage that puzzle was. Or rather, Selhar is. He said, this puzzle is such fucking bullshit, such fucking bullshit. This is exactly the kind of bullshit you found in Dark Souls 2 when you have to burn the wood with a torch to stop the windmill and remove the toxic smoke. This is literally the only part of the game where you use the torch as a puzzle. Fuck, I remember solving this puzzle when I was a kid and thinking how much of a load of shit this puzzle was. At least you get to fight a real neat boss next.
Yeah.
I'm guessing this fucking Spawn looking motherfucker. Doesn't this look like one of the bosses from that Spawn game on the Dreamcast?
A little bit. This guy came first though.
That's wild. Remember how the movie Spawn had like Dreamcast level graphics in it? Have you seen the movie Spawn?
I have, and I don't think you've seen it in a while because let me tell you.
Are you saying Dreamcast is too modern for?
It's like Sega Genesis graphics.
All right.
The Denizens of Hell are 2-frame sprites.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Yeah, that shit's funny as fuck.
All right, I don't remember how to fight this guy. I know I get the teleport powers from him, but
I remember Digi saying, "As long as there are 13-year-olds, there will be Tales of games." Yeah, exactly. They're always made for whoever's 13 at the time.
Beat him up.
Do you still watch Game Grumps? You used to bring it up all the time. Now you never mention it. No, I stopped watching it. It got really, really boring. Spoiling the ballot is when you go in to vote, but you just scribble or in some other way disqualify your vote on purpose as a protest. These actually get counted, and if a lot of people do it, it's a good way to call attention to the broken electoral system. I would think that not voting does the same thing. Like,
no, because you're just not involved at all.
I mean, if a huge number of people don't vote, that is a problem with the voting system.
I think only 40-something% of registered voters voted in the 2016 election, and nobody gave a shit.
That's fucking... Well, people do give a shit because they bring it up constantly. Like,
but it's not
literally the entire internet is people trying to tell you to vote. You should pay Munchie or Ben to make you a sub badge and or emotes. We have some of that stuff. I mean, like, why would we need them? We have Tom. Tom is an artist and a graphic artist. Literally went to college and got a degree in it. Are you aware of the Kamen Rider Robuchi Gen connections? Not just that he wrote one of them. There's some interesting interviews where he basically talks about how it influenced his work. I did not know that. Goblin Slayer is better than you think, Digi. Goblin Slayer himself comes off less generic hard-ass, but a lovable autist obsessed with this very specific thing. That's how he was always described to me. I mean, Goblin Slayer's been huge on A forever, so I already knew about it. Like, I know why people like it. I could send you them if you want. Oh, the Kamen Rider things? Yeah, go ahead. I might look at it. I'm just saying you may be setting yourself up for disappointment with this huge Tales project if you're expecting big numbers. That really depends on your perspective on what is big numbers. Nate sub badges are awesome. Who made them? Was it Nexus Mania? Probably. Did you guys officially get partnership, or did you just get the little achievement thing on Twitch? We officially got partnership. We had the achievement. It took them like 2 weeks to review it, and like today we got the email that was like, you are now approved as a partner. We just had to set it up. Do you watch normal porn or just hentai? Both?
Oh, God, dude.
Mainly hentai.
Mainly hentai, but especially now.
Japanese porn, you don't really watch.
Yeah, I mean, but like, since I started being with May, I watch even more hentai than I did before. Like, I would say it used to be more of an even split, but like, we're both just big hentai fans, so it's like, why not?
You hear about all like the porn is like a Jewish conspiracy to ruin the white race shit.
What the fuck?
Dude.
What? What the fuck? No, I have not heard that one. Oh, that was fucking awesome. That was the coolest possible mechanic.
Yeah, there's a bunch of conspiracy theories saying that like, cause like Pornhub and like RedTube and all that shit are owned by the same company that's like owned by, like run by a Jewish guy who's never been photographed in public or anything, but like they're saying that like there's like all the interracial porn and cuck porn is like, you know, promoted because they want to ruin the white race.
Oh boy. Why would Jews are generally white, are they not?
Dude, check this shit out.
I don't know.
You ready for this sick, dude?
They're as white as any other Mediterranean group.
So white.
They're as white as Arabs. You know.
yeah, dude. Here we go.
Has getting in a serious / long-term relationship changed your perspective on romance media? Oh, damn. Oh, shit. I didn't realize this game was fucking...
Fuck.
I didn't realize it was gonna be shit like this.
Fucking destroyed.
That was awesome. That was fucking awesome.
Why did they do that?
Because we murdered them. Now we have teleport. Now we can pass through gates and stuff. Powers.
I'm definitely hearing some like 9 Inch Nails influence on this soundtrack. When you guys gonna fix the stream audio? I don't know how. I don't know what's wrong with it. Anyway, about the romance thing. I definitely like feel even more like attachment to romantic stories because well, it used to be that I watched romance shows and my feeling was always like jealousy. Like I think I had like a famous quote that was like I judge how good a romance is by how like pissed off it makes me that I don't have that relationship. But part of according to May, I just learned this recently, like the moment when she like realized that she like wanted to pursue me as a relationship was watching my 6 Things I Want from Anime Romance video.
Well, that's when I realized that like, oh, like we might be a good fit, and I was like more interested from that point on. Like I considered
Mark, I didn't realize you were also interested in me that way for watching that video.
I'm
That's
not Mark.
Oh, May's here?
Yeah, what the fuck? Can't you tell?
Whoa. I can't believe May's turned up to an I Am Game stream for the first time
just
ever.
passing through. It's to the bathroom.
Oh, alright.
Alright.
Well, yeah. So, but it
I
was...
heard you were talking shit about me.
It was an influence on your decision to... Because you were like, I also want these 6 things from Anime Romance.
Turn on, for sure.
So like, if anyone's wondering what my relationship is like, go watch my videos about what I like in anime romance, and it's like true to what we have created here. So did Munchie fall for the college meme? It seems like it. I mean, there was like, he is so determined that there's nothing that you can say that's going to change his mind. Like
he's as determined to go as you are to not go.
He came over like with the expectation that we were gonna have like some big college argument, and I was just like, look, like nothing I say to you is gonna change your mind. You've already figured your shit out. Like you know why you want to go, but like. It's not as though you're ever going to get approval from me. Like, I'm always going to be like, this is a terrible fucking idea because I hate college. And then I went on like I ended up going on the rant anyways. Like, I ended up doing the anti-college rant regardless of the fact that I had no intentions of trying to talk him out of it. It was pretty funny. Can we agree that Mother's Basement's Goblin Slayer video is dumb as hell, followed by can we agree that Mother's Basement is dumb as hell? Sure. I didn't watch, I haven't seen any of his videos in forever. How is your comic coming together, Digi? I mean, I assume you mean the one that I did the storyboard on. I mean, that was all I intended to do on it, was the storyboard. It's in May's hands now. So that's a question for May. Not that I don't know the progress of it,
I
but
think May left.
yeah, she hasn't been here in a while. She took off. She vanished back into.
Do shit right on your comic.
Damn. I only realized just now that I had never actually mentioned that fact about the comic. So, go men.
They're probably disappointed. They're like, oh, I thought you were getting like an actual artist to do this.
I don't think, I mean, well, that guy seemed to think I was just doing it myself, like, but no, my intention was only to storyboard it. Digi, what do you think is a good way to integrate rape into a story? I've been working on a Berserk-inspired comic, and every time I try to make a rape scene, it's terrible and reminds me of Goblin Slayer. You don't need a rape scene.
Gotta let it happen naturally.
Yeah, just like if it seems like there should be a rape.
There's an incentive for the rape. It shouldn't just be like,
Right.
oh, there's a rape.
There needs to be a reason.
You know, it
It
has
has
to
to
be
serve
more
the plot
complex
or
than just
something.
bad guy rapes girl, too.
Yeah, well, I mean, you don't have to, like, actually describe the rape. You can just say that it happened or allude to it. You don't have to, like, detail it, especially in a non-visual medium. Like, it's pretty easy to get away with sidestepping that. Like, is there any reason that you need to have this rape happen? If that's what you want to write, then just fucking write it. Like, don't worry about if it's acceptable. Just write the fucking rape scene and just fucking accept that that's what you wanted, you know? We know you can't hear in-game noise. We have no idea how to fix it. There's literally no reason not to go to college if you have the money to go. Yeah, there is. You just don't waste your fucking time. Like, fuck the money. Think about the time investment, especially if you're trying to do well. Like, if you want to get, like, straight A's in college, that's constant work. Why would you do that when you could just go work on your own shit? When's the next Insomnia Analysis spiritual successor coming? I don't know. I hadn't even thought about it. Digi, can you say brain blast out loud in the Major Gomez accent? Make sure to exaggerate the first syllable. Brain blast. That's a Major Gomez for that brain blast there. I don't know why you want that. You don't need straight A's in college. Most degrees require around a 3.0, which is hilariously easy to maintain. I mean, like, what college are you going to? Like, Munchie's planning to go to, like, a prestigious art college. Like, it's gonna be fucking work. Study philosophy and coast by with bees. Why? Why would you go to college for no reason? Oh god, people are talking about college now. Fuck college. Why go to college for no reason? Because it's fun as hell, it's insanely easy to meet a lot of really cool / like-minded people, and learning interesting shit from old fucks who know way more than you. I disagree with everything you just said on premise. First of all, it's not fun because it's college. Second of all, no one is cool or like-minded to me. And third of all, nothing is interesting. So I don't know how you could say these things. I want a soundbite of me saying that. Oh god, it's Kappas. What's going on in the game right now?
Just beat the first boss, and I gotta go find the next guy. And right now, I'm just kind of exploring around, because I got a new ability that lets me pass through gates.
Well, you just fucking ate that guy.
That's how you gain health back in this game. You eat souls. I mean, he's like, the first thing I did in the game was eat one of those things, so I can tell you've been paying a lot of attention.
No, I remember it happening. I just had forgotten. I haven't been paying much attention, though. I've mostly been looking at the chat. Staring into it like a void.
Yeah, it's a good thing we don't have to write a video about this or anything. Otherwise,
I'm probably going to just play the game also, because it's lit and I want to play it. But
I don't remember how I even got in this room. Now I need to get out of it.
I also have played it, so I do have some understanding of it, but I'm pretty fucking tired at the moment. It's hard to focus on more than one thing.
How long have you been going for?
About 2 hours.
Okay.
2 hours, 7 minutes. Why don't you use the DigiBros channel even though you still do Let's Plays? There is no reason to use it. And also it's the Vic and Hope channel now. Like it's literally called Vic and Hope.
Dick and dope. Dick and dope.
Tazzle Spud says, students, especially liberal arts ones, are literally the worst kind of humans, and I hate myself for being one. Don't disagree at all.
This is fucking weird.
This is what happens when I'm fully caught up on the chat. See? I hope you all enjoy the silence as Tom runs back and forth across the same room over and over again.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm so retarded that I forget how I got into this room to begin with. So I want to leave and go to the next area. And I apparently fucked it up so bad.
Vic Ham Games when? I guess if Vic ever comes over.
It'd be pretty sick.
I don't know if Victor's like seen any of these streams. I know Shade's tuned in for a couple of them, but I don't know if Victor ever has. I don't hate the silence, to be honest. This stream is sort of passive media for me anyway. Just got it in the background while I write. That's usually why I don't watch live streams. It's like I have it on in the background and then it just gets quiet and it's like, well, now I don't have any background noise. Like I wanted it for background noise. There's a focus/target button, Tom. Gets easier to hit the mobs when they run.
I use the focus button. Those guys they run faster than you can focus in on them.
There wouldn't be silence if Tom actually talked. It's not Tom's job to talk. It's Tom's job to be games.
I would talk more if I had questions to respond.
Yeah, nobody ever asks Tom any fucking questions, so...
They asked me a couple things, but, I mean...
Usually, like...
They're very quick to answer.
When you take the computer, usually people just suddenly have questions for you. How are the shirts doing? I don't think people are buying them right now. I think that it's pretty much slowed down.
The last one we sold was I think the signed one to
I mean, right now we've kind of reached a point where it's we need to grow again. I think we've sort of stabilized
Yeah, growth has been pretty slow.
The channel itself, I mean, there was 2 weeks that I didn't put out a video because I bailed on the SPV3 one and then just haven't gotten around to editing the one about, we have a couple of scripts, the SPV3 one I just kind of lost faith in, and then I have a Soul Calibur 6 one that I'm indecisive about. But then, there is one that we wrote about, why don't devs mod their games that I think will be a good video. I just have to edit it. And then we ended up doing the Deltarune one. But, yeah. Through fault of mine, there was, a 2-week gap in the schedule. But, at the same time, I was kind of, first of all, we had a lot of streams with games that we thought we were going to cover and then ended up not. And then also, when I had the ideas for the Tales series, I was just this is just a better idea than any of the other ones I have, so I should pursue this. Oh shit. It's real. Kane's fucking skinny jeans, man. Raziel definitely looks like he does more leg day than Kane.
Doesn't have a six-pack though, because he doesn't have abs.
True.
Or any organs below the rib cage.
He's manorexic. Alright. Tom, how are you?
Doing okay. I'm playing a fucking video game. Oh god. I got fucking owned instantly.
All I want to do is suck Tom's dick, but we've established that, so there's not much more for me to say.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna say one thing, it's not a bad choice.
Does Tom love Lane? I don't think Tom's seen Lane.
I've not seen Lane.
Tom, what was the ZeroNet problem?
I think it's a problem just with the game I'm trying to upload, because I have like the version of the game so far, and in order to like have it be able to be seen, you have to upload it to a public website. And I was like, I don't want to pay for it, so I'll just use ZeroNet and DAT. And I got the DAT one kind of to work, but I guess no one can download it because there's not enough seeders. But ZeroNet just loads a black screen.
Weird.
Which is annoying. And I don't know if it just doesn't support like the Java stuff that you need in order to load it. It's confusing. There's not a lot of documentation, you know, because nobody fucking uses this shit.
I feel like having to read chat makes it impossible to have interesting conversations with the other person. Just talk. Fuck the chat. Hey, Tom.
What up, dude?
Soul Reaver, huh?
Yeah, I'm reaving some souls, you know, as one would do in a game called Soul Reaver.
I bought Tom a pot today, or a pan rather, at the behest of May, as a birthday present.
I feel like the birthday present was a vague way of just getting around the fact that like Tom's destroying my shit and I want him to stop, but I don't want him to say stop touching my shit. So let's just get him his own pan.
Yeah, but also...
Yeah, but also we wanted to get you something.
Also, that way you would have a pan.
Yeah.
Because all we have is a non-stick pan that's ancient. And apparently, through both the fact that it's scratched up and the fact that we were using it for high heat cooking,
oh my God.
And you were like trying to supercharge your burgers and cook them faster. And I guess that's why it, like, the nonstick pan is just, like, fucked. And that's why it was causing all that smoke. Because it was happening to us, too. And we were like, what's wrong? It must be the pan. And so May did some research and found out. And then she found out that, like, if you're going to cook stuff at high heat, you want to use this, a cast iron pan. And so she was like, why don't we just get Tom a cast iron pan? And that way he can cook everything at super high heat. Because apparently, like, it specifically says online that men tend to use these because men don't want to think too hard about what they're cooking.
No.
Yeah. So we were like, yes, we'll get Tom the man pan so that he can just fucking fry the shit out of all his meats.
I don't know how to fight Kane, because every time I get close to him, he just hits me with his laser and kills me in one hit, and I can't avoid it.
How tall is Tom? Like 6'2"?
6'3".
6'3".
Oh, fuck off. Really? God damn it. Oh, this is infuriatingly gay.
Are any of you participating in No Nut November? Hell no. I don't fuck around with shit like that.
Yeah, it seems gay.
I can make it like 12 hours tops without coming.
But no fat November.
Isn't that the same thing?
No, it's porn. No nut is no masturbating. No fap is no fapping.
What the hell's the difference?
Fapping is when you do it to porn.
What?
Yeah.
What?
That's when I've never heard that
It
before.
definitely is how it is.
That is, I've never heard. I thought fapping is just the noise. It's just fap, fap, fap,
Yeah,
fap, fap.
but you fap to porn. Nut is a cum.
What?
It's different.
Why would you even make the distinction?
Why wouldn't you? It's like, you know.
Who gives a fuck what you're masturbating to?
This is insane. How am I supposed to do this? Like every time, like what? This seems literally impossible. I don't know if you're paying attention to what's going on right now, but Kane hits you with this energy beam that kills you instantly. And then you're supposed to like spawn back and hit him, but every time I spawn back, he just immediately hits me again.
There's gotta be a trick to this. There's gotta be more going on than BCI.
I haven't figured it out yet. I don't think I can hide behind a pillar or something when the beam hits. I think it just passes. Yeah, it just passes through shit. So you're just fucked.
What would you do if you had like 3,000 viewers? How would you read chat? I'd probably just put it in slow mode. Only participating in Big Cum November? Hell yeah! That's the way to do it.
What am I missing?
How much do you sleep on average? A lot.
Or not. You know?
When do we ever not sleep a lot?
A couple days ago, we, like, stayed up mad long.
I remember it as, like, taking random interval naps all day.
When you got drunk?
Which time?
You, like, woke up at 1 a.m. that day.
Yeah, and then I passed out at, like, 7. No,
yeah.
not even that. It was after the PCP started at 1. It was 3.5 hours long. So it was, like, 4:30 when I passed out. So it was not I sleep, like 8 to 10 hours a day on average, I would say.
Damn it! Oh, this sucks. This sucks. This is one of the worst boss fights of any game I've ever played.
Honestly, if you just want views, make a Paper Mario video. Every fan will click on it because the fan base is autistically on par with Sonic. I believe that. Everyone's telling you to watch Lane. Because they found out you didn't watch it.
Lane? Like Serial Experiments
yes,
Lane?
that one.
I've heard some good things. No, no. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. This sucks. Like, the game is, like, significantly worse for this conflict.
I'm trying to look to see if anybody has said anything about what you're supposed to do.
Unbearably
If there is
bad.
anything. Making sad ass bacon in a man pan? Hell yeah.
Look. I don't like this fucking lie that's been perpetrated about my bacon. My bacon was fine.
Okay, so people are saying that masturbating and fapping are the same thing. That no fap means you can have sex but you can't masturbate, and no nut means you cannot come at all. May is a girl not allowed to talk about this. Mark, you're drunk. Mark, facepalm. I'm just now getting to this part of the chat, and they're all just like, what the fuck are you talking about?
No, man, I saw it. X-Hamster tweeted that NoFap is anti-Semitic. Because it's...
You need to spend less time on poll. This is why your perception of things is weird.
It's the fucking election, of course I'm on poll. It's the first time I've been in poll for like a month. Give me a break, fam.
Did
I
the,
just learned
did the
about all the
Democrats take the
wars.
House back yet?
Dude, it's too early to fucking know anything.
Didn't you used to have like borderline insomnia? No. I have never had actual insomnia. Insomnia analysis was just a title that I thought was funny.
You fucking poser.
I've always been up all night, but like I just sleep on a weird... Well, okay, as a kid, I had what you might consider insomnia because of the fact that I can't make myself go to sleep. I can only go to sleep when I am tired. And as a result, if I were to say, go to bed at 10 o'clock because that's my quote-unquote bedtime, I will not fall asleep. But if I can sleep perfectly fine, it's just I can only do it when I'm tired. But because I don't have any kind of normal scheduling in my life, it means that I don't have to fall asleep and wake up at the same times every day. So...
Dude, look up what to do here. I'm never gonna finish at this rate.
Alright.
Like, I've hit him twice.
Tom, you have to hit him 3 times, and yes, this is the worst fight. So
Oh, I just won.
There you go.
Okay, so I was doing nothing wrong, it just was that gay.
Yeah, it was just that gay.
I think this is when I get the Soul Reaver. My Soul Reaver, which is like an energy Soul Reaver.
Someone said, why the fuck would Mark check poll during an election? Actual cesspool. And someone said, Mark really fucking is the epitome of a poll poster. Poll is funny to look at during, quote, happenings, but that's it.
It is a happening! What are you talking about?
Well, I think they might be in agreement with you. I mean, this is a different person. Alright, I'm gonna read this because Spicy Salts has written it literally 20 fucking times, so he seems to think it's really important that I say, Digi, I wish the character design for Soul Reaver was better. He looks like something Tom would design.
He just is Tom.
Yeah, he looks just like Tom.
He's just Tom's OC. It's fine.
I mean, like, I didn't read this because it's so dumb on so many levels. Like, first of all, this is universally considered one of the greatest character designs in gaming. So, like, obviously Tom is going to consider it a compliment if I say it looks like something he designed. But then to say he's so... Like, I don't know if he's trying to make a backhanded compliment.
It's Spicy Salt. Everything he says is stupid.
Spicy Salts. Do you like Poll? Do you go on Poll? I must know.
Mr. Perth says, go to the pole, not the pole. I remember Digi saying on Digi Bros he has masturbate to fall asleep and would fap even if a girl was asleep next to him in bed. Do you do that with men? Absolutely. This game is how you correctly do Edge. Agreed. This is what Edge should be.
It's good shit. I'm all about it.
The key is that the aesthetic is, like, very colorful. Like, they didn't make it all, like, black and bleak. It's, like, blue and green and purple, and it looks cool. And, like, it's not, like, bleeding heart emotional. It's, like, serious and political, but while being, like, gothic and fucking poetic, you know? It's like, it's very Lord Byron shit. I say, having read nothing Lord Byron ever wrote. Universally considered, is this game that popular? I mean, back in the day, it was pretty fucking big.
This is a huge franchise.
Yeah, there's like 10 fucking games in this franchise. It's the same writer who went on to do the Uncharted games. Incidentally. How much is Tom willing to divulge about the history of his love life / relationships?
I don't really know.
Yeah, ask more specific questions.
Nothing very exciting happens there. I mean, there have been a few girls. It was pretty good.
People talking about how the arm beam is dope.
The fucking Soul Reaver is sick. The only thing that sucks about it is that if you get hit, it goes away. You have to have full life to use it.
Digi, have you made that massive everything I want to consume spreadsheet? I had made that before I ever brought it up. Like, when I talked about it, I had already made it. Damn, I never heard of this game before the Mitosis video. Then again, I knew next to nothing when it comes to games. I am games, though. Yeah, no, this game was a big deal. I knew about it because I had a friend who was... Like, I had a friend in middle school who was, like, a big fan of them, but he had, like, one of the PS2 games, and it looked like a fucking nightmare, because he was, like, stuck at some part where, and I know that there's, like, the games are very inconsistent in quality, so, like, that was part of what, eventually killed it. Lord Byron is overrated as fuck. Percy Shelley is 10 times better, also an OG shitposter. Got kicked out of Oxford for writing a pamphlet called The Necessity of Atheism. Never heard of him, but recommend me something. I haven't read any Lord Byron. I have no idea. Like, all I know about Lord Byron is that he was an influence on like Oscar Wilde. This game takes just the right amount of influence from Japanese shit, I feel, while still being palatable to non-weebs. I don't even really see that, like, any Japanese influence on this game, other than the kappas. Dick long like Cider's PhD thesis. I'm having one of those everyone is on crack videos because this character is so ugly. I meant moments. What is ugly about this character? He looks cool.
I mean, he is ugly, but like...
He's supposed to be ugly.
Yeah, supposed to be ugly. Like, the first thing he says is like, what disgusting form have I come to inherit? It's like his first line in the game.
Yeah. He's got no fucking jaw, no fucking guts. His wings got torn to shreds.
Yeah.
And he's a vampire man. Percy Bysshe Shelley, husband of Mary Shelley, writer of Frankenstein. I didn't know that Frankenstein author's husband was also a writer.
Fuck on her mother's grave.
If that's true, that is the coolest shit in the world.
Mary Shelley's a fucking psycho bitch, but I love her. Rest in peace.
I can't hear what I'm supposed to do next, but I'm sure it's cool.
Sorry.
That's not your fault. It's just the game is quiet.
Raffle, it's fantastic how Cider's PhD has been, quote, almost done since episode 1. Well, episode 1 of the YouTube show anyways, but yes, it is hilarious. I remember back before the PhD had actually started being written. Like, I've been there for the whole process. But, like, it went from, like, concept to, quote, almost done within the span of a few months, and then it's been in the almost done stage for, like, 4 years or something. But that's because he had to, like, completely redo it, like, several times. Does PCP talk about Deltarune next episode? We sure do. Yep. We sure do.
Goes on for a while.
No one's gonna be happy about it. Mostly my fault, I would say.
Whoa, that was fucking sick.
The arm beam feels very Japanese to me. I could go on a spurred rant about his designs, parallels to the original Kamen Rider, but that won't make sense to anyone else. That is fascinating.
Raziel looks like the original Kamen Rider to you?
Parallels, he says.
I'd be interested because I know what the original Kamen Rider
Make a
looks
video
like.
about this, dude. This is I think it's the same guy who was saying he was going to do the Toku design analysis.
Dude,
CM398.
When you fucking kill
at least
dude,
tell us about it in the Discord.
It just blows up. You just blow dudes up.
I detest people referring to themselves as weebs. Call yourself a nerd, anime nerd, or just otaku. I think that weebs is meant to refer to, like, being a trashy Western anime fan. Like, and I do think that that is a real category, and I think that when people call themselves that, it's meant to be sort of self-effacing. What do you think of my anime list but for games? That exists. There are actually several of that. These fucking noises are horrifying. Is there like a swirling mass of souls here or something? This
is the abyss where you get cast in the beginning of the game. It's like the central hub. Oh, well, that's not what I wanted to do.
I don't like how his outermost appendages are thick, like he should be a cute Digimon thing, but he ain't cute. I don't know what you mean by him looking like he should be a cute Digimon thing, but I think it's mostly for readability. Hey Tom, do you check out the Better TTV thing that I recommend you, and what do you think about it?
I did check it out. I installed it on my main computer. I haven't dicked around with it too much, but the fact that it had a dark mode was pretty cool.
What's a good entry point for PCP?
PCP episode 1.
Yeah, I mean, just start from the beginning. Why not?
You'll get all of the lore, all the sick.
Yeah, I
lore.
mean, even like, I'm tempted to say, like, you'd have to start, like, I don't know when we start doing like really hardcore memery. Like, I don't know if even from episode 1 if it's difficult to like understand fully, because we had already been friends and doing stuff together for a while by that point. But like, yeah, if you start from episode 1, it'll be the most linear way to understand all the fucking references and shit. I would even say it's not so much safe to go from episode 1 and linearly watch the episodes. You have to watch everything on the channel. Like, all the other shit is important too. You're never going to understand it if you're not watching everything.
Yeah.
And even then, you probably will want to watch everything that each of us put out on our channels in the same time, because sometimes we're like referencing each other's newest video without really explaining it. The PCP is a ludicrously fucking insular cult bullshit.
It is, it's a lot.
You just gotta kind of dive in and fucking hit the ground running.
Why can't I open this door? Maybe I'm going the wrong way again.
Favorite song and why? Ooh. I don't know what my favorite song is right now. I've got like a few candidates that tend to be near the top of my list. But I don't know what would be my current choice. Tom, do you have a favorite song?
That's a tough question. I'd have to like really sit down and think about it.
Mark, can you think of a song I've been listening to a lot that I'm like really into? When you think my favorite song, what do you think? I'm tempted to just say Lazy Eye, because that's usually the answer I'd give. Lazy Eye by Silver Sun Pickups.
You don't listen to that, like, all the time.
Not anymore. I have not been listening to as much Silver Sun Pickups. What have I been listening to? I'm just gonna go with Lazy Eye. It's an easy answer. So good. Will Jesse ever come back for a PCP episode? You may be in for a surprise coming very soon.
Yeah.
By which I mean he's in the new one for like a solid hour, I think.
Yeah.
Like at the last hour. He like jumps in at one point and then just kind of hangs around.
That didn't work.
So get hype. PCP is far better now than it was 2 years ago, with several single episode exceptions like 14, 19, and 21. I'd be willing to believe that. I mean, there's definitely like a dark age in the PCP. Like, I would say that it starts off being like a fun show about like we would be talking about something and then we'd be like, let's talk about this on PCP. And then eventually it became that we had to like come up with a topic every week. And for a while we had interesting topics, but then eventually the topics became of lower and lower quality. And so there's a good span of like probably almost 30 episodes where we're just like some of them are fine, but like the topics are totally fucking inane because we're just like anything that we could talk about. Like, let's just select a fucking noun or verb or whatever and make a video or a podcast about this. And then for the last like 20 or so, we decided to scrap the whole topic thing and just go formless and talk about whatever. And it's been way more fun since then. Especially to do. I don't even know if I don't know if it's necessarily a much better show to listen to, but it's way more fun to do. Where did "Don't Mind at Night" come from? That's a song from the Brony community.
Oh God. Well, yeah, sort of.
Well, okay. It's originally just a Katy Perry parody song of the song "Last Friday Night," but it's "Don't Mind at Night," and it was just originally like a Minecraft thing. But then this one Brony Animations guy called Jan Animations, who was really famous, he had this character named Turbo Button. Is that his name?
No,
Button Mash. He had a character named Button Mash, who is this really fucking obnoxious little kid who plays video games. And so he made this animation where he had Button Mash singing the "Don't Mind at Night" song set to this like really... Jan animations were like ludicrously gorgeous, like unbelievably good animation for the most boring, fucking cringy, normie shit writing possible.
Well, but, he wasn't a writer, that's why.
Yeah, but like, so "Don't Mind at Night" was like a really huge animation, and like for no particular reason other than that we all collectively remembered it at RadCon 3, we just started saying it constantly at RadCon 3 and like just thought it was the funniest thing in the world.
Yeah, it's that's how a lot of the PCP things go.
Yeah, I mean, usually a PCP meme is just something funny someone says and then we can't stop saying it and then it ends up in a podcast.
I'm stuck again. Da-da-da-da-da.
A lot of people are saying things we can't get into. Things we can't get into is a pretty legendary episode.
That's the one, right?
Yeah, that's the yellow one.
Yeah.
No, yellow.
God in heaven.
These block moving puzzles look really tedious and boring. Yeah, they do.
Or it wouldn't be that bad if I wasn't such a moron.
Ever listened to Dog Fashion Disco Digi? Seems like the type of metal you would enjoy. I have never listened to them. I've heard the name. I think Digi ruined the PCP episode of things we can't get into with his weird edits. Well, fuck you.
Oh yeah, that's right. They did have edits.
Yeah, where I was like rambling afterwards. Huh?
What is yellow? What even is yellow?
Yeah.
Man, remember that time at RadCon 2 where we made a wrestler called Jesse's videos and it was just a guy that was nothing but yellow.
Jesse was super
Jesse got so pissed we had to stop the entire Royal Rumble and redo it by taking him out.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a missed opportunity.
That should have been obvious that was going to happen.
Oh, but it was so funny.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Selling Out legit started Jeff's shill saga. If that's true, that would be the funniest thing in the world. Like, if we created the I know I created the monster, but if we all created the monster, that would be hilarious.
I don't know where to go. What the fuck do I do? There was a cutscene that I'm pretty sure said where I needed to do, but I couldn't hear it, so rip. No, I'm saying no. Ooh, maybe I can get over there. Maybe I can get over Oh.
Gypsy, you said not to read this out loud, so I won't, but you are definitely wrong.
Oh. That makes me feel uncomfortable.
He said don't read this out loud, but I think Tom has a tiny penis.
Oh. Okay.
But Tom has made it emphatically clear that he has a large penis.
I mean, you just assume that. I've never said that.
You've implied it many times.
I've made jokes about it. That doesn't
yeah, but
mean
you. The reason I became convinced is that like there was a period in time where you were constantly down on yourself about absolutely everything and never made any self-aggrandizing jokes, only self-defeating ones, except for when you would joke about how you had a huge cock. And so I was like,
there's some lines that no man can cross.
There must be some truth to this if he's so confident. Like, I feel like if you had a small dick, you would be like, oh no, I've got
a small dick, but it's not like, I'm not a black man, alright? Like, let's not misunderstand anything.
Your dick is probably proportional to your height.
Sure.
Which
I'm not an expert on cock, so I don't.
Have you ever measured your dick?
I've not measured my dick.
You should measure it. I advise this to all men. Measure your dick; it's bigger than you think it is. It's 100% true, and every time I've told somebody that, they've come back and thanked me afterwards. Measure it; it's bigger than you think.
High hopes, low expectations.
High hopes, low expectations. But measure it; it's bigger than you think it is. I know there's a lot of guys out there who think that their dick is like 4.5, 5 inches long, and if they measured it, they're gonna find out it's 5.5, 6. Like,
I'm just murdering civilians.
what happened with the Plebe and the Weave episodes you filmed at Jesse's place last year? Will they ever see the light of day? Apparently, they're really bad. Jesse said that he watched them back and they were really terrible, so he doesn't want to release them. Holy shit, who the fuck doesn't measure their dick? I think most people are afraid. Like, most people think that their dick is small and they don't want to fix a number to it because they're afraid of knowing for sure. But, like, more likely, it's bigger than whatever they think it is.
I've just never cared.
It's a major thing in psychology that, like, most men have some kind of penis insecurity.
I don't know what I'm doing right now.
Because all that interracial porn.
Yeah. It literally is. I literally do not have access to anything to measure my dick with, so I had to compare it to a dollar bill to figure out how long it was. Yeah.
Or you get like a phone ruler.
I measured mine with a ruler that was a literal 6-inch ruler.
Cut a piece
and
of
it
yarn.
matched my cock perfectly. And I was like, whoa. Yeah. What if it's too difficult to measure it? I will say that the hardest thing is keeping your dick as hard as you can while trying to measure it. Like, because every time you try to hold the ruler up, you will lose a little bit in the process. So it's,
I never really thought of that.
It's a struggle.
But yeah.
Just add an extra half inch.
I did this in I did it in the shower, and I was like constantly having to like check, and then like I would feel it soften a little, and I'd have to go back and jack it more. Yeah, you do. Morning wood is not necessarily like the most erect. It's more like a weird kind of dull semi-erection, but it can become the most erect if you act fast. What the fuck? I have an average dick, but it's very dark brown and looks bad. I think dicks are usually a lot darker than the rest of your... My dick looks like it belongs to an Arab guy.
Man, I'm learning things I didn't need to know right now.
I paid for the Radcon 3 BTS, thinking the McVlog you and Munchie promised in the DK live stream of being there. I was extremely disappointed, not very clean at all. Wait, McVlog?
Remember we were saying McVlog, but we ended up just going to McDonald's or something. And everyone's like, oh, it's not, we weren't going to go make a vlog or anything. It was a thing. I remember it being a thing.
When I first showed up at RadCon and you guys went to McDonald's with me?
Yeah, we were like all saying McVlog.
I mean, we went to the drive-thru and we couldn't even like get in, right?
Yeah.
We ended up driving around for like an hour.
It was not great.
No, there was nothing to vlog. There was no... I'm sorry you were let down.
Huh. I'm in a room. And there's nothing in the room.
Penis is measured from butthole to tip. Oh boy.
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Oh fuck.
Okay, what the fuck is going on? I'm not exactly sure. Okay, there we go. That's better.
Is the weird phimosis shit some sort of hijab?
And fucked.
What hentai manga do you go back to a lot, or are you always looking for new shit? Usually I'm looking at new shit. I have like a favorites list on X hentai that I do go back to a lot. But like, wouldn't say there's any one that I like look at more than others particularly. Did you and Victor film a GameCube chats at RadCon 3? We did. There is a Rowdy Fuckers Cop Killers versus GameCube chats video that has not been released yet. And when Munchie was here, I like asked him about it, and it seemed like he had not realized that he was the one who would like. Seemed like nobody knew who it was supposed to be with. But I was like, I definitely didn't take it, so it's one of you guys.
Speaking of things didn't take, neither Ben nor Munchie took their RFCK footage. So it's all still just sitting on the hard drive, all like 14 hours of it.
Ninja Jeff 50 says, man, brother-sister incest is so great, I can't put it in word. Agreed. Hey Tom, where's the bit jar?
It's on my other computer. I didn't add it to this one because I didn't know where to put it.
Mark, how big is your dick?
Mark puts a solid shame.
I don't like to brag.
But like 9.75 inches.
No, it's almost 8 inches. It's like a little short. But I'm a tiny man, so.
Proportionally, you're doing pretty well.
Ugh. Oh shit, Antoya came in and said, hey cunts, guess who's here? It's our boy.
I would assume it's Toya. Your name's in front of the message.
The response, it's the drunk rich man.
I mean, yeah, his reputation precedes him.
I said, I ain't rich, I'm just not worried. I remember what that was like. Did you recommend me some analysis vids? If you already watched the 7-hour Pokemon video, Oh, here's a channel I just discovered that was fascinating, but then over all too soon. There's this channel called Retro Pals, and I found them because I was recommended a video that was like about Mortal Kombat 3 and like its transition to the PlayStation, how it was like really important to the early PlayStation. And like this channel, they mostly just upload like Twitch streams. They get no views. They've only got like 9K subs, and most of their videos get like barely any views. But when they actually do real videos, they're all about, they have a series called PlayStation Year 1, and it's like they go through every single game that was like, they did like all the launch titles for both the English and Japanese PS1, and like did like an individual review of each launch title game, and then they're like going through chronologically and doing like every PlayStation game in that first year. And it's
pretty cool.
Yeah, it's super, like the way they write is just like purely historical. It's like the kind of review elements, but mostly it's about like the company who made the game and like the whole history of it. And it's like the amount of info they seem to have is like ludicrous. And it's really funny because the guy will say things like, well, obviously this is like a well-known fact, and you probably already know this, and it'll be like some comparably really obscure fact to like what normal people would know, but then he'll hit you with like vastly more obscure stuff, and you realize why he would consider that other stuff to be normal, you know? Like basically it's extremely knowledgeable, but you have to wade through like finding the videos that are actually real and not just live stream uploads, of which there are not actually that many.
What do I do? Where do I go?
Did God of War rip this game off? Probably to some extent.
God of War? How so? The fact that you can like murder civilians or whatever?
Yeah, I think that's what they're referring to.
I mean,
the puzzles are kind of similar too.
I just don't know what I'm supposed to do at this point.
We've been going for almost 3 hours. We should probably wrap this up.
Probably should.
The first 2 hours felt really long, and the third hour felt comparably short, but
I've just been
I'm getting sick of hearing that footstep sound.
It doesn't even faze me. I'm not even aware of it anymore. Transcended to a higher plane. Oh, I bet I could go that way.
What was the thought process of playing this game for the channel? That the Legacy of Kain series is really beloved and has like a fervent cult following. And we are both interested in it because it looks cool and is cool. We've both attempted to play this game before and like thought it was neat, but never got around to playing more of it. And there's not really like a super satisfying retrospective on the series out there. Like there's people who've done it, but it's like boring. So there's definitely room for like a cool, you know, well-written analysis heavy retrospective on Legacy of Kain. But there's a lot of research to be done for sure. But like, you know, I'm not in a rush because it's not like there's a new one coming out or anything. Like, right. We don't have to have this done by a deadline, but we just figured it'd be a cool game series to check out. And I'm also playing Tales of Phantasia in my own time.
This is a big square.
This game is like Zelda, but actually cool looking. That's kind of what people said about it at the time.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that.
I think Jesse likes this game as well. Definitely, he's a big time fan of the Legacy of Kain series. That's probably why he was in here earlier. He tends to show up for like cool PS1 games that he likes. What is Mark up to? I'm not sure.
On poll. Keeping up with those midterms.
This Spicy Salts, I'm not going to respond to your question until you spell the name of our publishing company correctly. You're almost there. You just had the words in the wrong order. There was talk about a new Soul Reaver or a remake earlier this year. They created a Twitter for the Soul Reaver IP, apparently. I mean, that sounds like straight rumors and hearsay. I mean, if they do announce a new game, that'll be all the more reason to do it.
I know they announced a new game a couple years ago, like a brand new thing, but twas not really the same thing. And then it was canceled. Alright, got another warp zone.
Whoa, stop. How do you save?
You just hit start and hit save.
You can just save anytime. Alright, we should stop. This has been going for 3 hours. On the nose. I'm tired.
Save. Yes.
Alright, everybody. I hope you enjoyed being the games you wanted to see with us tonight. We got some subs, some resubbers. Like 4 of them. That's pretty cool. $40 from fucking Jalen Harris. I dig it.
I dig it too.
I dig this
Let
performance.
that be an inspiration to all of you.
Alright, people. Be the games you want to see. I am Games. Signing out. I can't find this. Mouse is not connected to this PC.
I guess go down.
Down.